Good morning. I'll continue today's Foundation Day. In fact, yesterday was our Foundation Day originally, and we have completed 4 successful years, entered into our fifth year. Someone who has been here from day one, and what actually pulled me towards joining RevSportz was definitely Boria Majumdar's vision, which was very clear. I think from day one, he said, we want to name the company RevSportz because we want to revolutionize the way people view sport, the way people support sport. And we are not going to talk about, when we say sport, mostly end up covering men's cricket, not even women's cricket. Mostly it is about men's cricket. But in RevSportz, we will cover with equal passion Olympic sports, Paralympic sport, women's cricket, men's cricket. For us, sport will be a priority and no singular sport will be a priority. And I'm glad to say that I joined, that vision. I joined Boria Majumdar. Of course, anybody who knows Boria Majumdar or has heard the name will always want to work with him. I also wanted to work with him, had worked with him for a short time in Star Sports. That's where, of course, the whole partnership began. And in RevSportz, my journey has been both. I have done my work of production, which is what I came from, uh, and then added on more roles when it came to reporting. I have actually not done much of reporting from the venue, which is something that I added. And the most important thing, which I think have to give uh, huge credit to Boreada for, is, as someone who has played the game, women's cricket, it has been a passion for me, has been something that I live, breathe, and absolutely love. I had told Boreada, I want to cover women's cricket as much as I can. He said, go ahead, who's stopping you? And I think that's pretty much him. We want to do a documentary, Boreada. Go ahead. What do you need from me? That's who he is. And then, of course, you have to say that we get able support from Sharmishta Di. I am someone, I call Sharmishta Di a lot, with a lot of problems. She is half the time fighting fire of the entire company and without complaints. Not easy when you are mother of a child, when you have a homemaker as well as you're going outside and working. But she absolutely balances the role. I love working in the conventional way in RevSportz, but what RevSportz has done is has given a sort of wing to my analyst side, to the side which wanted to contribute to women's cricket, to popularize women's cricket. And then, of course, multi-sport. I absolutely loved Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, Paralympic Games, experience, learning, and most importantly, RevSportz has taught me to believe in my gut instinct. Because when we were going through a bit of a rough patch in the beginning, I had believed. I had believed in the man. I had believed in his vision. And I'm just glad that 4 years later, the naysayers who had then asked me not to be part of the revolutionary sporting digital platform, I'm glad I did not listen to them because, well, just India won the first ODI World Cup ever, first World Cup for women's cricket. We were there to cover it. And before ending, I just want to quote, in this WPL auction, the youngest kid, Dia Yadav, was bid by Delhi Capitals. So I will end by what her father told, the day we contacted to get an interview. He said, you guys, I saw the article which Snehashish had written. So Snehashish and I had spoken about 5 uncapped players who could be, bid. And Dia was one of them. And her father has actually said, the only platform which named her, you guys hyped her and thankfully brought her into notice. This bid is also because of you guys. That's what we are here for. And that's what I love the job for. Happy anniversary to RevSportz and for many more years to come. Thank you. We'll pass it over to, of course, the editor, the chief editor, the one who, captains the team of editors, Orkurudra.
I'm very bad at, so I've written this thing, so please bear with me. Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone, it's truly invigorating to stand here today, surrounded by so much talent, and to talk about something I'm deeply passionate about: the power of visual storytelling and the unique environment we have built here to champion it. I have had the privilege of leading our video department for nearly 2 years, and I can tell you that the single most defining characteristics of my experience, what I believe makes our content truly stand out, is the level of creative freedom this company's CEO Boriada and COO Shormishtadi entrusts to their teams. We often talk about deliverables, deadlines, metrics, but at the heart of what we do is artistry. When I first took on this role, I was ready for the constraints, the strict corporate guidelines, the do it this way mandates that often paralyze creativity. But what I received from our mentor and founder Boriada was profoundly different. Our mandate wasn't just to produce video, it was to find the most compelling, unconventional, and impactful way to tell our story. We are not just button pushers, we are visual architects and emotional navigators. Creative freedom is not a park, it's a foundational business strategy. By allowing our editors the space to experiment with pacing, sound design, color grading, and narrative structure, we move beyond the expected. We create content that doesn't just get views, it earns attention and sparks conversation. This freedom isn't a luxury, it's the foundation of our credibility. It what ensures our audience views our long form content as genuine filmmaking, and I'm thankful to Boriada, Shormishtadi, and our sponsors for that. Every project is a new canvas, whether it's a 60-second social media story, a breaking news, color stories from the tours, or a documentary. We are empowered to challenge the norm, to scrape the safe option, and to pursue the visual interpretation that has the most punch. This trust from the executive team down is what allows us to truly differentiate ourselves in this saturated digital landscape. My role as a head of video editing goes beyond approving cuts, managing timelines. My primary focus is to be the custodian of the creative environment and to pioneer the future of our visual communication. We have the best gear, yes, but my vision centers on the people. We are cultivating a culture of mutual critique and shared success. I believe in providing our team with resources, time, training, and trust to push their own technical and creative boundaries. We succeed when every individual editor feels a personal sense of ownership over the final exported output. Every single deliverable, from a micro content piece to a feature length documentary, must carry a company's signature, bold, visually compelling, and technically impeccable. We at RevSportz, under the mentorship and guidance of Boriada, have been doing this since the company was founded and will continue to do the same in the coming years ahead. Creative freedom is a gift, and with it comes a great responsibility. The responsibility to be brave, to be innovative, to be excellent. I look forward to continuing to lead the exceptional team, fostering a culture where the craziest idea might be the one that goes viral, and where every editor is empowered to be a true storyteller under the guidance and mentorship of our very own Boriada. Thank you, sponsors, for your constant support. Thank you, Boriada, for being such a great mentor and guide all throughout and each and everything you have done for us. Thank you, Shormishtadi, for the wholehearted support. And thank you, Trishadi. Without you, nothing would have been possible. And thank you, RevSportz, for tolerating me and my creative hunger and madness for 4 long years. And hope you all will continue to do so for the coming years ahead. Let's keep making something unforgettable. Happy birthday, RevSportz. Thank you.
Well, after Orko, we of course have our very own cricket aficionado, Shubhayan Chakraborty, the star, who has just come back from Ranchi. All yours.
Hello and very good morning, guys. And thankfully, Trisha reminded that I came from Ranchi because I'm pretty confused which city I'm living in right now. That's how extensive my travel plan has been, covering cricket mostly. But I would like to start by thanking all the investors, all the sponsors for trusting this vision, Boriada's vision. I remember it was at the peak of his ban. May 2022 is when he got banned. I was with my previous organization, TV9 there. And I remember everyone was jumping the gun and doing that news because that was bringing clicks. At that time, Boriada was trending on social media platforms for all the wrong reasons, trolling, abuses, etc. etc. July 2022 is when I first, interacted with him, and it was about a news related to Saurav Ganguly, whether he was joining the Legends League cricket or not. And that is when Boriada texted me on Twitter, and that is where our first real conversation started. I had met him during the T20 World Cup in 2021, peak COVID, and that is where we interacted for the first time. I had covered his few events for my previous organizations, but never got the chance to actually have a word with him. But when he texted me in July 2022, a couple of months into his ban, and he asked me whether you want to work together or not, and that is where, that instinctive nature of mine kicked in, and I said, why not? I've grown up seeing you, all the 90s kids. Uh, Growing up would attest to the fact that, our childhood or our growing up years was came through by watching Boriada breaking news, doing interviews for his previous organizations, and that is where my instinctive nature kicked in, and I said, why not? So that is how the conversation started. He texted me back that let me come back from the Commonwealth Games, and let's have a conversation, and he kept his word, gave me a call. And October 1st, 2022 is when I joined RevSportz, and that is how our journey started. I think it was a pretty small team back then. Trisha, Orko, Rohan was there, I remember, and Debashis, of course, and that was a very small team. I was their first, major hire from a different organization, you can say. From there, our journey started. My first assignment was the 2023 T20 World Cup, Women's T20 World Cup in South Africa. The team lost, but thankfully Trisha and Snehashish, they saw the team lifting the World Cup after three years, and it feels, the women's team and our ref sport journey also started like that. The women's team on the cricket field faced hurdles after hurdles. So did we. If I have to sum up my journey, then it started with people asking me, "Why did you join Boria? Why did you join Rev Sports?" And now, 3 years, 2 months into my time with Rev Sports, people are now asking me, "How can I join Rev Sports? How can I work with Boria?" So the transition in the 3 months, in these 3 months, I think have been 3 years have been fantastic. We have covered a lot of cricket now, and I can vouch for the fact that when we were in Australia, when we were in Australia, when we were in England, and covering matches for Rev Sports English, and of course Rev Sports India, I have to mention that one of the fastest growing platforms in our the Rev Sports umbrella, one of the fastest growing platforms across the digital space. And April 2024 was when I told Boriada, why don't we bring Rohit and start a Hindi vernacular. Uh, and from England, from Australia, I've seen people come to us in every city, wherever we have gone, and appreciate our work. And that is, I think, stamps the authority of the work we are doing out there on the field, standing there for long hours, watching the team practice. People say that, the Indian players, the Indian cricketers or athletes, they work so hard, but I always tell them that, we are there in the stadium 2 hours before the team arrives, and we are there in the stadium 2 hours after they leave. So we work harder than that, harder than them. So the hard work is paying off. Good to see all the platforms. Rev Sports Bangla also is doing extremely well. So we are growing, and the journey of Rev Sport Hindi also. Now we are standing at 93,000 subscribers. I have to check the views, but I think we have crossed the numbers in millions. So that is something which heartens, which gives me that confidence that we can go on and work put our hard yards out there. And if I have to give you the number, 44 million is the number that Hindi has achieved over the 11 1 year and 1 month time frame. So yeah, the journey has been fantastic. We are covering cricket, doing interviews, giving stories of players right there. And here's the partner in crime for our Hindi platform, Rohit Juglan. I'll pass the mic to him. And once again, thank you to everyone, Boriada, Sharmishta Di, to all the back end team, to all the people who work tirelessly hard, writing, doing social media, doing video editing, producing shows, and of course, the hard yards will continue. That's what I can promise going forward. And over to you, Rohit.
शुक्रिया। आई थिंक मैं हिंदी में बोलूँ तो शायद थोड़ा बेहतर रहेगा, बिकॉज मैं थोड़ा ज़्यादा अच्छे से एक्सप्रेस कर पाता हूँ हिंदी में। सबसे पहले तो ऑब्वियसली जैसे शुभेंदा ने कहा, मेरी जो जर्नी स्टार्ट होती है वो रेव स्पोर्ट्स हिंदी के साथ ही शुरू होती है। और ऑलमोस्ट हमें अब 1.5 साल हो गया है, 1.5 साल से कम ही समय हुआ है। एंड मैं यहाँ पे नंबर्स की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं यहाँ पे किसी किसी एल्गोरिदम्स की बात भी नहीं करूँगा। मैं जैसा शुभेंदा ने कहा कि आज जब रेव स्पोर्ट्स हिंदी कहीं पर भी जाता है, और मैंने क्योंकि हिंदी से शुरू किया है तो मैं बेहतर होगा कि उसी उसी पे बात करूं। तो हम देखते हैं कि लोगों में एक अलग तरह का एक एक कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाता है, बैक होम कहीं से भी वो हमें देख रहे हो। हम इतनी जगहों पर गए हैं, हमें लोगों ने कहा है कि हम इंग्लैंड में थे, आपकी ऑस्ट्रेलिया की कवरेज देखते थे। दैट्स फॉर अस, मतलब वो मेरे लिहाज से हमारे लिए एक सबसे बड़ा वैलिडेशन है। फॉरगेट अबाउट, ऑब्वियसली जब आप एक चैनल पे काम कर रहे हो तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि नंबर्स क्या, आप नहीं चाहते कि आप बात कर रहे हो और आपको कोई देख ना रहा हो या आपको कोई अप्रिशिएट ना कर रहा हो। द फर्स्ट थिंग जो मुझे याद है, आई थिंक जो पहला टूर मिला और मैंने मतलब ऑब्वियसली इट स्टार्टेड, मैं बोरियादा का एक इंटरव्यू कर रहा था जो उनकी बुक पर था। एंड मैंने इमेजिन नहीं किया था कि वो उसमें इतने इमोशनल हो जाएंगे, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट उनकी आंखों में आंसू थे उस इंटरव्यू के बाद। एंड आई थिंक वहां से, क्योंकि जैसे शुभेंदा ने कहा कि हमने भी, बस मैंने किताबें पढ़ी थी बोरियादा की, मैंने उनकी वीडियो कवरेज भी, मैं क्योंकि न्यूज चैनल बहुत ज्यादा देखता नहीं था, कभी भी मैं न्यूज चैनल बहुत ज्यादा देखता नहीं था, बिकॉज जब हम लोग बड़े हो रहे थे तो न्यूज चैनल्स प्रोपागेंडा ज्यादा क्रिएट करते थे। हमारे समय में वो न्यूज चलती थी कि दिल्ली में बर्फ गिर गई, और फिर जब शो खत्म होता था तो दिखाया कि साइकिल के पीछे कोई बर्फ की सिल्ली लेकर जा रहा है और उससे दिल्ली की सड़कों पे बर्फ गिरी हुई है। सो मतलब फनी था, बहुत फनी था हमारे समय में। तो मैं न्यूज नहीं देखता था, टू बी रियली ऑनेस्ट। मैंने किताबें पढ़ी हुई थी बुरियादा की, और मैं उनसे हमेशा जब भी मिलता था तो यही कहता था कोई किस्सा सुना दीजिए, बिकॉज उनके पास ऐसे किस्से होते थे जो किस्से किसी के पास नहीं होते हैं। और वो चीजें मुझे बड़ा फैसिनेट करती थी। तो जब ये इंटरव्यू का अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला, उनसे बात करने का अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला, तो फिर वहां से हमने ये आगे का रास्ता तय किया। बट जैसे मैंने कहा कि मैं जिम्बाब्वे गया पहला टूर, और वहां पे रिंकू सिंह का ये कहना कि भाई हम आपकी कवरेज देखते हैं, आई थिंक वो हमारे लिए एक वैलिडेशन था। उसके बाद हम जहां कहीं भी गए, हमने एकदम से पिकअप किया है। आई नो बहुत सारे लोग इस समय पे यूट्यूब चैनल क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारे लोग परेशान है इस चीज को लेकर के कि भाई क्या हो रहा है, क्यों नहीं हम क्यों नहीं ऊपर जा रहे हैं, हमारी चीजें क्यों नहीं बेहतर हो रही हैं। तो आई थिंक इस समय पर अगर आप देखोगे, मैं ये दावे से कह सकता हूँ कि हमारा चैनल वो चैनल है जहाँ पे अगर हम किसी जगह पर खड़े हैं तो लोगों को पता है कि यहाँ से सही चीज आपको सुनने को मिलेगी। और भी लोग हैं जो जाते हैं, मैं यहाँ पर किसी की खामी नहीं बताऊंगा आपको, मैं बस इतना बताऊंगा कि लोगों का ट्रस्ट, जहां तक बात है क्रिकेट कवरेज को लेकर के, हमारा काम ये भी नहीं रहता कि हम किसी प्लेयर को लेकर के चिकड़ी चुपड़ी बातें करें कि भाई ये प्लेयर बहुत अच्छा है और ऐसा है, और ना हमारा काम ये है कि हम ओवर द टॉप जाएं किसी को भी क्रिटिसाइज करने को लेकर के। और आई थिंक वो चीज लोगों ने हाथों हाथ ली है, और इसी वजह से आप देखेंगे कि जहां कहीं भी, मतलब हम जाते हैं, हमें इस तरह का रिसेप्शन मिलता है। ऑब्वियसली जो टीम बैकएंड पे है उसने इस समय पर जिस तरीके से, जैसे भी हम जहां कहीं भी गए, जैसे मेरे ख्याल से शायद वैभव जुड़ा होगा, मैं होप कर रहा हूँ, तो वैभव आगे चलकर वैभव भी हमारे रेव स्पोर्ट्स हिंदी के साथ जुड़े। एंड उसने भी बहुत सपोर्ट किया है पिछले कुछ समय में। देन प्रकाश है हमारे साथ, जो काफी बार खासतौर पे आईपीएल के टाइम्स पे बहुत सपोर्ट करता है। बट एक जो मैं थैंक यू कहना चाहता हूँ वो शुभानंदा को ही कहना चाहता हूँ यहाँ पे, बिकॉज हम दोनों जानते हैं कि हमने शुरुआत से लेकर यहाँ तक इस चैनल को कैसे हम यहाँ तक लेकर आए। एंड बस मैंने कभी कहा नहीं, हमने कभी कहा नहीं एक दूसरे को शायद कभी ऐसा, बट ऑब्वियसली क्योंकि एक पहला ऑफिशियल मीट है और सब देख रहे हैं, सब जुड़े हुए हैं, तो मेरा थैंक यू सिर्फ शुभानंदा को होगा, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से हमने यू नो हम जब बात भी करते थे इन चीज़ों को लेकर के कि क्या हम कैसे ग्रो कर सकते हैं, कैसे आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, और यस हमें इस चीज़ का बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज है कि हम टूर करते हैं। बट ऑब्वियसली आजकल चैनल सिर्फ 2 ही फॉर्मेट पे चल रहे हैं। आप लोग अगर देख रहे हैं सारी चीज़ें, तो चैनल 2 ही फॉर्मेट पे चल रहे हैं। या तो लोग टूर कर रहे हैं, या फिर वो बहुत बड़ी टीम लेके बैठे हुए हैं स्टूडियो में, 7 लोग 8 लोग बैठते हैं, 6 लोग बैठते हैं। बहुत पैसा इन्वेस्ट कर रखा है उन्होंने हर एक चीज़ पे, छोटी छोटी लाइटों से लेके, कैमरे से लेके, सेटअप से लेके, और बहुत सारे मैन पावर लेकर। तो आई थिंक उसमें हमारा ये रास्ता चुनना, और अभी भी हमें यही लगता है कि आई थिंक हम 2 काफ़ी हैं इन सारी चीज़ों के लिए, कि हम जिस तरीके से चीज़ों को आगे लेकर जा रहे हैं। तो पिछले कुछ समय में यस बहुत सारी लर्निंग्स भी रही हैं। लाइक हम चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी गए या एशिया कप गए, विनोद सर वहाँ पर थे, विनोद सर से भी काफ़ी बातचीत हुई थी। तो वहाँ पर भी हमारा यही एक था जो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू था कि हमें कौन सी चीज़ों को कितना दिखाना है। स्टिल रिमेंबर पाकिस्तान के मैचेस कितने कवर करने हैं, कैसे कवर करने हैं, किस तरीके से कवर करने हैं। सो इस तरह के चैलेंजेस बहुत आए हैं, और अभी भी आगे चलकर भी आई नो कि हमारे पास चैलेंजेस आएंगे। बट आई थिंक द वे वी प्लान्ड ईच एंड एवरीथिंग, जिस तरीके से हमारी प्लानिंग रही है, हर टूर पर सबसे पहले पहुंचना, हमने इंडिया ए टूर्स कवर किए हैं। हमने कुछ भी कहीं पर भी जाकर हमने किसी फैन बेस को केटर नहीं किया है। रिमेंबर लंदन पहुंचते ही ये खबर का चलना कि रोहित और विराट के बिना कोई फैन है नहीं वहां पे, एंड हमने उसको कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट किया। और हम जब पूरे टूर पे वहां पर रहे तो फैन बेस था, और फैन बेस बहुत सपोर्ट कर रहा था टीम को। वो सिर्फ उनकी टीम को नहीं, बल्कि हमारी कवरेज को भी सपोर्ट कर रहा था। एक लास्ट चीज जो मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, वो इस चीज को लेकर के कहना चाहता हूँ कि वो तमाम लोग, क्योंकि मैं देख रहा हूँ कि ये लाइव चल रहा है, और आई नो कि बाद में लोग शायद अगर देखेंगे, जहां कहीं भी हम गए, जिन लोगों ने मतलब हम हमारे लिए मतलब अपने घर के दरवाजे खोले। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि हमारे पास कुछ था नहीं, वहां पे जाने के बाद हमारे पास सब कुछ था, बट उसके बावजूद भी जिस तरीके से लोग आते थे कि आप आए हैं, आप हमारे मेहमान हैं, जिस तरीके से लोगों ने सपोर्ट किया है, आई थिंक ये बताता है कि आई थिंक वी आर हेडिंग टुवर्ड्स द राइट डायरेक्शन। बस हमारी प्लानिंग आगे चलकर, और हम उम्मीद कर सकते हैं कि हमारी प्लानिंग आगे चलकर और बेहतर हो। बहुत कुछ है जो आने वाले समय में आ रहा है, जिसको हम कवर करने के लिए, ऑब्वियसली कल बुरियादा ने एक आर्टिकल लिखा हुआ था कि हम क्या क्या प्लान कर रहे हैं कवर करने की, और वो आर्टिकल जब खत्म हो रहा था तो उसमें यही लिखा हुआ था कि ये बढ़ेगा ही, कम नहीं होगा, इसमें और चीजें ऐड ही होंगी, वो चीजें कम नहीं होंगी। तो आई थिंक वो चीजें हम बेहतर तरीके से प्लान करें, बेहतर तरीके से चीजें एग्जीक्यूट हो। बस इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं अपने इस जो मैंने कहा इसको विराम देना चाहता हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन लास्ट में फॉर देयर सपोर्ट। बहुत हेल्प मिलती है जब मार्गदर्शन मिलता है उन लोगों से जो लोग सचमुच में इन रास्तों पर चले हैं, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली हम अभी 30-32 साल के लड़के हैं, मतलब मैं लड़का शायद कह ही सकता हूँ अपने आप को, अभी आदमी नहीं कहूँगा। हालांकि मेरी एक 7 साल की बेटी है, लेकिन मुझे मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अभी बहुत बहुत एक कम उम्र में ना हम लोगों को वो वो जिम्मेदारियां मिल गई हैं शायद, जिसको जो शायद पहले लोगों को मिलती नहीं थी इतनी। और अभी भी आज हम किसी प्रेस बॉक्स में बैठते हैं ना, तो हम इधर उधर जब देखते हैं, और ये मैं हम दोनों के लिए कह रहा हूँ, शुभेंद्र और मेरे लिए, कि लोग हमसे बड़े ही हैं वहां पे उम्र में, तो हमें एक बहुत कम उम्र में ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल रही हैं, ये जिम्मेदारी मिल रही है, जिसके लिए ऑब्वियसली रेव स्पोर्ट्स फैमिली उनको ही थैंक यू जाता है। बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अभी भी बहुत कुछ है जो हम सीख सकते हैं। हमें हमें ऐसे नहीं सोचना है कि यार अब हम इस चीज को लीड कर रहे हैं तो हमें सब कुछ आता है। मुझे अभी भी लगता है कि अभी बहुत कुछ है जो सारे सीनियर्स, सिर्फ बोरियादा या शर्मिष्ठा मैम या कोई और नहीं, बल्कि सारे सीनियर्स वो हमें सिखा सकते हैं। तो बहुत गलतियां भी हुई हैं, उसके लिए माफी, बहुत अच्छा भी किया है उसके लिए थैंक यू, और आपके मार्गदर्शन इसी तरीके से मिलते रहे। थैंक यू सो मच।
Now I'll pass on the mic to our champion Olympic reporter, Paralympic star, Rohan.
थैंक यू।
Shubhanda made me Paralympics star. So yes, hello everyone. It's really nice to be speaking on this occasion on the 4th anniversary of RevSportz. I still remember the day I came with my father. My father was actually doing an event for RevSportz when it started, and I just finished working in the I League as a part of Gokulam Kerala local manager, and I was looking for a job and was about to start my MBA. Then my actually Boria sir got in touch with uh, when my father told Boria sir that my son studies sports management and he's looking to do MBA, and uh, he was like send him to us and let him join the company. And my father said ki, yes, he would want to join your team and learn from the experience, learn from the best. And I remember the day Trishadi called me. It was 12th February when I got the call to come and join for an interview, and I came the next day. I think perhaps it was the best decision that I could have taken. And since then it has only gone upwards, because I've never studied media, I never studied journalism. I did commerce, I did my BCom, and then out of nowhere I just landed up in media, which I had no idea, and I just learned on the job. And I would thank Boria sir and Shormishta ma'am for giving me this opportunity, because I remember I've covered lot of international tournaments like the Asian Games and Para Asian Games in Hangzhou, and the Paris Olympics and Paralympics, and the recent England versus India series. But still, the Hockey World Cup that me and Rahul and I covered, it would be one of the most special events, because that was the event that actually gave me the platform to actually understand and know how media works. Because me and Rahul, both rookies, were just sent to cover a hockey World Cup with 16 top teams, and we have no idea of how a coverage works. So that's the freedom, that's the platform that I've received from this company. And that was the first tournament that I wrote a match report, and I got to learn about making contents and all. Even I wrote a piece about it yesterday, and I can vouch for Rahul also that yes, he has now developed himself into one of the best football reporters, and he would be going to cover the football World Cup. But that hockey World Cup actually changed the pathway, and since then, covering the Asian Games in China, one of the best experiences. Trishati and I had so much fun covering the events. And the best part of RevSportz is that they don't really just want you to cover the breaking news and the headlines and run after headlines. There is freedom to cover other human angle stories as well. We do a lot of human angle stories, and such stories that actually excite me, and I've always looked forward to covering the human angle stories. Like, for example, in a year where India won 111 medals in the Asian Games, a story of an 80-year-old man cycling all the way from Guangzhou to Hangzhou to see the Asian Games wouldn't matter, but still that story got equal importance on the platform. And that's, I think, is one of the best parts about RevSportz is. And from there onwards, we as Bengalis always dream of going to three cities. Mostly, first would be London, then Paris, and then New York. So I think Paris and London both have been fulfilled, and thanks to again the team, Boria sir, Shormishta ma'am, and everyone. And it has been a really great experience in these 4 years. From I joined as a publishing team member, just used to publish videos, and from there onwards, learned what production is from Trishadi. Worked closely with Orkoda on the videos, how to get edited, what are the B rolls are, what are the technicalities of making a video from a raw footage to a video. uh, Everything, all these things you can't learn in any college, I think. So it's a platform that allows youngsters to grow, and you can take yourself to a different level if you work hard, and they do. And everyone in the company do uh, back someone who really wants to improve themselves and give the platform, and everyone gets equal opportunities. I can now, when the youngster Shorjani and Mohor joins our team, and they were working in the recently finished Empowerment Cup, I could see myself and Rahul and the other people back 4 years back, and can actually uh, see the way forward that they will also have in this ref sports journey. And perhaps in the next year, or in 2 years, they will be speaking the same that I am speaking of, the all the opportunities that I got from the company and the support and everyone in the company, not only the seniors but also the uh, friends that I have made. I won't say colleagues, because everyone, we actually work as a family, as a team, and I think that's the best part of Rev Sports. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll pass it on to my next speaker, but I think it has been a fantastic journey, and all the way uh, more to come. Thank you so much.
I do believe it's my turn. Is it, or is anyone coming through that door? But I'll start anyway, because there's no one there. I'll start. I'll keep it sweet and short because that's my style. But when I think about my journey here at Rev Sports, it's been 2 years now, and one thing stands out very clearly. I did not walk into Rev Sports as the person that I am today, and a lot of who I've become has been shaped by the work, by the environment, and especially by the opportunities that I've had at Rev Sports. And funnily enough, it's all started with a Twitter DM. Looking back, it's funny how it all started, because one random day I was just sick and tired of sitting behind a desk, going from studio to office, and I realized this is not what sports is supposed to be like. I've played sports all my life, and being on the ground daily, at least 8 hours a day, was something that I'd done all my life, and I just couldn't fathom the idea of sitting behind a desk all day. And I texted Shubhayan because I had followed Rev Sports work throughout the Asian Games, and I thought this is how sports is supposed to be. This is how you're supposed to cover sports. So I called up Shubhayan. I said, "Do you have anything open here? I'm really passionate about sports and I want to work on ground." And I got in touch with Boria sir, and things just started happening from there. And Boria sir explained the vision to me of the company, and I could not have been happier. Or suddenly, that spark came back that had started to dull. So looking back again, when I joined, I was still figuring out who I was as a journalist. I knew what I wanted to do, but I did not fully understand or know how to do it. My confidence was up and down. My skills were very raw, and honestly, I was still searching for my voice. And Rev Sports has truly changed that for me. Not because someone sat me down and said, be this person or be this type of journalist, but because the nature of the work has pushed me to grow into a better version of myself. And honestly, on ground reporting has changed everything. It has given me a new identity. Traveling, meeting new people, handling situations in real time, it it forces you to trust yourself more. And it made me much more sharper, it made me calmer and more aware. And slowly, without realizing it, I became someone who could walk into a stadium or walk into a press box or a mixed zone and feel like I belong there, which I struggled with a lot as a young journalist. But the biggest shift was internal. Being consistently trusted with opportunities as a young person, which is something that I am truly grateful for Rev Sports and Boria sir and Shomishta ma'am and everyone who trusted me with those opportunities to go out there and get the job done, even when I wasn't fully confident. It created a different kind of self belief. It made me stop doubting whether I fit in this field and really start owning the space that I was in. So that's the new persona that Rev Sports gave me. Someone who is not afraid to take responsibility, someone who is not afraid to stand on her own 2 feet professionally, and who is comfortable with both the work and with herself, with who she is in the profession. And I think that happened only because this organization gave me the freedom to grow naturally. You're in this organization, and this is something I've noticed compared to some other organizations that I've worked in, is that at Rev Sports, you're not forced into a mold. You're encouraged to be yourself. Everyone is encouraged to make mistakes. Everyone is encouraged to learn in real time and find their own style. So yes, Rev Sports did not give me just assignments, but it also gave me a new version of myself that I did not even know I was capable of becoming. a persona that is built on confidence, field experience, and a sense of belonging in the profession. And for that, I'm genuinely grateful for RevSportz. Thank you. That's all.
So now it's my turn actually. Obviously, everyone has said about their own story. So now I will tell my story at RevSportz. But first of all, thanks to all our investors, thanks to every member in RevSportz for believing on me. And the first thing that I should say about RevSportz is, what make RevSportz apart from other organization is here you get freedom, here you get opportunities, and RevSportz let yourself let explore yourself. That's one thing that set RevSportz apart from the other organization, because I have spoken to many people from other organization, but they always speak that RevSportz is a bit different from the others, and I have also witnessed the same there. Oh, okay. So first of all, sorry, I forgot to mention my name. I'm Rahul. It has been 3 years in sports, and the best thing about me is that my story is that I joined here as a backend publisher, and how I joined, that story is also special because after pursuing sports management, I got placement in a private bank, and that shows the current scenario of sports education in our country. And after 3 months I realized that this is not my place, because since my childhood I am passionate to football. I always wanted to stay connected to sports, whether it's football or cricket, on or off the field. And but I never thought that that dream will be fulfilled. And because I got, as I already mentioned, that I got placement in private bank after my college placement, and then after 3 months I gave up. And then after 1 month, I got a call from my senior colleague, Rohan Chaudhary only. And he told me about there's an opportunity in RevSportz. And without any hesitation, I grabbed that opportunity. I joined as a backend publisher because at that time, I didn't know how to record a PTC. I didn't know how to write an article. So I joined as a backend publisher, and my role was to publish article or to publish videos by making captions. So that was my only role. But since the very first day, I kept learning a lot of things in RevSportz. I mean, every time I used to publish a video or I used to publish an article, I try to observe things from that article or a video. And that's how I learned, from my senior colleague, how they are recording PTC, how they are writing an article. And that's how I kept learning a lot of things. And then one day came our editor-in-chief, Boriada, called me and said that, why you sit in home, because you were living in Kolkata, Mecca of Indian football. As you are passionate to football, why don't you go out and do football stories? And I think that day, I think changed the whole scenario. I kept going out, and I kept covering a lot of football events, a lot of football games, especially ISL and other competition. And that's how my journey as a football reporter started in RevSportz. And the best thing about RevSportz is that within just 6 months of covering football, I got an opportunity to travel to Qatar, Doha, for covering the AFC Asian Cup, where India also took part. And I still wondered that why RevSportz sent me, because it has been just 6 months of experience in football coverage. And there, I think only 3 or 4 media houses were there. I think Hindu was there, Khelna was there, and all of them, were experienced cooks, and all of them were so experienced. They went there with 5 to 6 years of experience in football coverage, and I went there with just 6 months of experience. And now I realize, if that day RevSportz hadn't sent me there, I wouldn't be here, because in that tour really changed me a lot. I got to learn a lot of things. I got to learn about international coverage, because I rubbed my shoulder with the experienced reporters of other organizations. I got to learn a lot of things. And many journalists says that when how you will tell you that your story is good, when your story will be discussed in buses or tea stalls, that means we have really done a great story. And recently, I think I've done few stories which being discussed across the whole nation, because recently I have done one interview with Shan Hundal, the Canadian striker, and who is seeking a move to India so that he gets eligible for Indian passport, and he wants to don the Indian national team jersey. And that story really went viral. I mean, every time I'm scrolling in the social media, Instagram or Twitter, every time I'm seeing the quote card of Shan Hundal, the clip of Shan Hundal. So I won't say that, okay, I have achieved everything, but uh, but that's an indication that I'm, in the right step, I'm in the right process. So that's how I think, again, I'm grateful to RevSport, because always from the very first day, I think the first day I still remember Boryada said me that don't stop exploring yourself. I think that thing still resonate in my ears, and that's how I started my journey. And now I'm a football correspondent in RevSportz, and we have also grown a Bengali football channel that, now we are 32K family. So that has been quite an achievement for RevSportz Bengali channel. So that's how my journey has been in RevSportz. And again, I'm grateful to RevSportz, especially Boyada and Shormishta ma'am, for giving us opportunities, giving us freedom every time. And again, RevSource also shows that if you keep working hard, obviously opportunity will come your way. So that's it. That's my story at RevSportz. And once again, happy birthday, RevSportz.
করা হয়ে গেছে? Hi, my name is Atreyo Mukhopadhyay. I have been associated with RevSportz for 3 years, and I have been told that I have been instructed to speak on how I have remodeled myself. I mean, while working here, and the reference is chess. I am primarily a cricket reporter. I did cricket for 25 years, and then to cover chess was a was a terrifying prospect actually, because I do not understand chess. Let's be honest about that. And when I was asked by Boria whether I want to cover the World Championship Singapore, I said no, because I don't know the subject. So what do I do over there? Then there were several considerations. One of them was why not? Because it's something new, and as a reporter, it's a challenge for me. Not only as a reporter, as a human being also. So, and there are several other factors. It was a huge occasion. I mean, biggest chess tournament in the world. An 18-year-old Indian was playing. So there were several factors. So when I went there, I was nervous. I was not nervous. I was scared, because I was all at sea. I mean, this is that level of chess. I have no idea. But then eventually we saw that I saw that I do not know chess, but I know reporting. I know news. I know how to do stories. I know what is a story. I know where a story lies. I know how to fight deadlines. So for me, the game changes, but my work doesn't change. And it's something new and something very interesting. I mean, I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the kind of people that I met. They are there are different breed of sports persons, uh, completely different from what we normally see as athletes of in other sports. So it's a very rewarding journey, I would say. And I won't say that I have remodeled myself or changed myself, because I never thought of myself as a cricket reporter. I always thought of myself as a sports reporter. Yes, I was into cricket because of the circumstances. My editors wanted me to cover cricket. I also liked covering cricket, and fortunately, I mean, some crunch assignments came my way, and that doesn't mean that I become a cricket reporter. I stopped paying attention to other sports. No, I did follow all this while, and wrote also on those things, but primarily it was cricket. So chess, again, I mean, I don't know whether I should thank Boria or say something else, because it's something which I did not think of doing, but somehow it happened. And I have enjoyed this experience, because it's been I would say it's a very rewarding experience, because I'm doing something different. and which I wanted to do something different because I wanted to test myself. I was at a stage of my career where there is not much more time to do anything else. So I was very eager uh, to cover something other than cricket, and I've been enjoying this. The second part of what I'm going to speak about is how RevSportz is paying attention towards grooming young journalists. It's a very important and very overlooked subject. Uh, we expect youngsters to do well, but we do not take the responsibility of helping them know what is good and what works and what doesn't. This any profession. I mean, any profession, the beginners need a little bit of hand holding. I'm not saying that you spoon feed them, no, but you tell them what works. I mean, tell them these are the parameters, these are the guidelines, A, B, C, D. Certain work can be done in 3, 4 ways, possibly, and these are the ways, these are the methods. Now, you decide whether this works for you or it doesn't. You modify that. Don't blindly follow. But it's important to set those guidelines because otherwise, how will they know? It's our responsibility to pass on that whatever we have learned to them. That's how I learned, at least. I mean, I learned whatever I have learned. If I have learned anything, I have learned from my seniors, plain and simple. So it's my responsibility in that case to pass that on to the next generation, or to my younger ones, to my younger colleagues. So that is something which doesn't happen in a lot of places. And Shormishta told me that we should be doing something like this, which I did for a while. Dilip also told me that will do this. So this is something I have really enjoyed doing because uh, what I know is of no value if I do not share it with somebody else. So if I think that I know something, I must use that in teaching youngsters, not teaching, but helping them. Let's say not teaching or guiding, but helping them. So that's something, that's an initiative that RevSportz has taken. It's a very commendable effort because unless we do this, who will do it? I thank Boria, thank RevSportz and thank everybody for tolerating me. And that's it. Bye.
Okay. Hi, good morning. This is Sneashish Mukherjee. For the last 2 years, I have been associated with RevSportz, and it's been a fantastic journey. For someone, basically in 2019, when I passed out my college, I was a civil engineer basically. So I started my journey as a civil engineer. I worked in Saudi Arabia for 1 year, but because of my father's life-threatening illness, I had to come back, and then the corona thing happened. By god grace, he's all fine now, he's working again, but then I had to choose for a content writing, educational content writing. But I before this company, I already knew Rohan Chaudhary. He was like a brother to me. In the same apartment we used to live. So when I came to know that Rohan is already working with RevSportz, so then I got to know about the whole idea of this company and the vision and everything. So from childhood we all love sports, right? So always had the passion, always had that intention of working with a sports company. So Rohan told me that why not you start to write sports article and everything, do a stats course or something. So I did those things, and eventually the opportunity came during 2023 September. I remember that month. So I just want to share two things. In the previous company I was working, that evening I was writing some article. Suddenly my phone rang up and I saw a number. I just picked up and, okay, hello, who is speaking? and it was Boria sir, and I was just jumped up my seat. Okay, Boria sir, Boria Mojumdar has called me. Okay, sir, hi sir. So that time I talked to with him, and I shared that all that like everyone doing already in website, I also go to the field covering the sports, have willing to take interviews and all. Just one thing that always will stay with me, Bodia said that day to me that come join us, but build your own connection. I and the whole team will be there to help you, but you can, if you can do, you will go, you will do well. So that thing will definitely stay with me forever. And now after 2 years, uh, I have learned up many things. Special thanks to Bodia sir for the all opportunities. 2024 first T20 World Cup ICC. Binod sir was pretty helpful. The whole family, we were there. All the hospitality and everything. And then recently the 2025 ICC Women's World Cup at home. A history to witness, the India women team winning that first World Cup. And obviously, I have to thank Sharmisha ma'am also. The way she managed to, she always tries to make the daily thing very smoother, smoother for all of us. And one more name that I have to take, that is Tushadi. I think Tushadi has been very supportive, be it on in office assignment, be it off the field. I think the way she has guided not only me, I think most of us young journalists, I think it has been pretty helpful, and others also, be it editorial team, Dilip sir and others, Atto sir, Shomikda, and everyone, even Devashish da, Shubhayan, everyone. I think they have been superb. And one name I have to take, otherwise Bhoivav will kill me. Me and Bhoivav handle that short content group. I think every day we always try to make it smoother for the from for the new candidates. But yeah, I think he has been superb. The way he has improved also, I think that has been superb. So a lot of learning I think. I know many areas that I have to improve, I can improve. So that is work is going on. Hopefully many more years to come with RevSportz. So happy anniversary, RevSportz. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Mohor Chaudhuri. I am the new anchor slash reporter of this company. And I mean, it's only been a month since I've joined, but I can say for sure that this place has already started to feel like a family. It started to feel like home. I wake up every single day with a smile on my face and I look forward to the job. And if I have to talk a little bit about how it started, basically, I was completing my master's in sociology still, and I was doing a few acting gigs here and there, a few commercials, theater. But something inside me was not really happy with what I was doing. I was not really happy from inside. In the meantime, it so happened that obviously I used to watch cricket a lot, but I got really interested and I started watching these female broadcasters on screen, and I got really intrigued that, you know what, I think I should try it out. I did not know how to do it. I did not know the first step. I had no idea about sports anchoring, but I just wanted to try it out. By God's grace, one fine day I came across on social media that they were looking for a new anchor from Kolkata, RevSportz, and RevSportz is one such platform that I have genuinely followed consistently over the years. So I really wanted to try it out. I also spoke to Shubhainda, I was in touch with him on Instagram, and I spoke to him like, should I try it out? And he was like, okay, go for it. And yes, I sent in my video without any expectation at all. But by God's grace, I got shortlisted. I went for the interview round, and I was very nervous in the interview round. I have to mention this. And I think on that day itself, I was pretty sure that, I want to work here, because they made us, ma'am, sir, even Rohan Da was there. The three of us made me feel so comfortable. I was very nervous. They asked me to calm down first. They calmed me down, and then they said like, okay, let's start talking now. So it instantly felt very personal, very homely, and I wanted to work here for sure. Then after some days, obviously I got a call back, and I was very excited. Honestly, I knew nothing about sports anchoring. I just knew that I was very comfortable in front of the camera, and which is something that I had talked about in the interview as well. I was comfortable in front of the camera. I loved watching sports, and I loved talking about sports. So that's all I knew. But both ma'am and sir have shown their immense trust in me right from the start. I've already covered a number of events. I've recently, me along with another colleague of mine, who just joined along with me, we've covered the Empowerment Cup. which is a RevSportz initiative when it comes to women's football. I've also covered the India versus South Africa Test series in Kolkata. So yes, I am still learning, very much still a newbie, but both of them, ma'am and sir, have shown their utmost faith in me, and I would never want to disappoint them ever. There's something that sir told me right at the start which has stuck with me, and that is two things. He told me to always aim for excellence, and he told me to make mistakes. That is when I started feeling comfortable. I started feeling, I had this confidence that okay, I should not be nervous, because he said make mistakes, you will learn in the process of making mistakes, but don't show laxity in your work. So I mean, definitely I have been trying my best. There's still a lot more to learn, and obviously I definitely have to mention my seniors as well, the ones that I get to meet here. Rohanda, Trishadi, Snehashishda, Rahul, all of them have been very, very helpful. They have been hand-holding us in each and every step of the way. Even the ones that I don't get to meet on a regular basis, like Dilip with writing, Divya with publishing, they've all been very supportive. And honestly, like the space feels very homely. Like Sir insists. Yes, so that has been my journey as of now. I'm still learning. I would want to keep learning more and more. And I would like to conclude by saying that, I started off by saying that this happened by accident, but it surely has been my most favorite accident so far. Thank you. Happy birthday, RevSportz.
Okay, so we now just move track a little bit to a very dear friend of mine who I've asked and invited, requested to address us, Atul Srivastav. Atul and I know each other for a good 2 decades. When Atul was in the sports domain, ran his own company, propped up multiple cricketers and other sporting personalities, we've done a lot of work together. And last year, I remember this day all of a sudden when I get a call. And I was actually trying to renew my contract with AGS Federal Life Insurance, a brand that has been with RevSportz from year one, day one. And we were going through a number of to and fro and negotiations and all of that, because they also had a personnel change at the senior management level. So as it happens, when a new management comes in, which are the contracts that one needs to go ahead with, which are the contracts that one can dispense with? Obviously, there was a churn going on. And I was anxious because AFLI has backstage with Boria, has been with the show, been with the platform, been with me. So I get a call, and guess who it was? It was Atul Srivastav, and he says, Dada, very good work, this, that. Very typical Atul, making fun. And then he says, just aapko ek khabar dena tha, I have taken over as the Chief Distribution Officer of AGS Federal. Trust me, we laughed for 5 minutes that is there a bigger or a better coincidence that can happen. I didn't need to prove myself or the RevSportz story to Atul. I did not have to hard sell. I did not have to say a single word. He said, Mujhe sab pata hai, you are assured of my support. So Atul is somebody I call family. Atul Srivastav, our next speaker. Atul bhai, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Boryada, for inviting me, and congratulations to each one of you. Wish you a very happy birthday to RevSportz. And as Boryada said that, we have worked together for a long time, and as a player manager in my 15 years of being a player manager, and we signed a lot of players with the help of Boryada, and we did a lot of international players like Michael Clark and David Warner. And when I started with Virat Kohli as my first signing, and then from there we signed about 30 players, 24 played for India. We went into licensing, merchandising, we went into sports tech and created the first smart bat. All these things, while I was doing, there was one constant support which I had was Boryada. And whenever I was stuck anywhere, I could actually call him and ask him for help, and that help always came. And both Boryada and Sharmishta ma'am have been a great support to me personally. And as Boryada said that, I left everything and started my corporate journey back again. The company I joined, I came to know that there is this arrangement with Boryada, backstage with Boria is already there, and so I called him to congratulate him for the good work he was doing. I have seen his good times, I have seen his bad times, and he has also seen my good times and bad times too. So our relationship is obviously for life. Um, from the organization's point of view, Aegis Federal Life Insurance has signed Sachin Tendulkar for the last 8 years, but have never been able to use him. When I came in, I sat with Boryada, and we have decided that we will invest in sports, but we will not invest the way we've been doing. We used to run about 4-5 marathons. We have stopped all that, and the only sports we will do is with RevSportz, and we will not do any other sports with anyone else other than RevSportz. I know Boryada, and sometimes he I admire him as an individual, a lone person, how he has fought through his life, and he's a very successful entrepreneur now, and I feel really proud of him. From Affleck side, we are doing our new brand launch, which is on 9th of December, and the whole of next year we're going to do a lot of inputs on the brand. From the sports side, we will work with RevSportz all through this year and the next year, and that's it. I mean, I'm sorry, I have a very short window to come and speak, because and it was only because of Boryada and his way of getting his work done, that out of all the reviews which is happening in the office, he ensured that I take out the 10 minutes and come here. So Boryada, you are as painful as you were before. Thank you so much, and sorry if I said anything wrong, Dada.
No, Atul bhai, before we let you go, just to let everybody know, Atul bhai and I have been talking about the Trailblazers conclave for the last 2 months. And I've been telling him this time we've made this conclave doubly bigger. So you need to come in and support us in a bigger way. Finally, last night when I called him again, he said, how many times do you want me to say yes? I asked him the figure, he's given us the figure, he's told me everything, he's given it to me in writing, and more importantly, he said, whatever you need, we will be there. Make the journey strong, make the journey the way you guys are doing, keep doing good work. I know, Atul bhai, you've got a meeting, so we will let you go, but thank you very much. It means a lot. Even if I'm causing pain, the pain is worth it, trust me. It's like good exercise. When you go back and have dinner tonight, you will thank me for being there, and I will thank you. And when I physically meet you on the 8th of December, having dinner at your place, we will go through this plan and make plans for 2026. Once again, thank you very much, Atul Srivastava, for joining us. One second.
I just wanted to add that it is not only this conclave, but there are a lot of events which we want to curate with you in the coming year, where we will do exclusive events with you, I mean, it is not about me using you or you using me. We want to create a ecosystem where both of us are, it's a win-win for both of us. And we've not worked hard on our brand. Next year is when we'll really work hard on the brand. So I mean, I know that I have your yes, but I mean, from our side, we are very committed, at least till March 2027.
And from our side, you have our fullest support. On behalf of all our investors and colleagues, everyone is part of the meeting today. You have our fullest support, not just for the programs that you are doing with us or stuff that we will curate, but even the larger network that we have now been able to create. Everything will be at your disposal, and fullest support and fullest synergy. Once again, thank you very much, Atul bhai. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharmishta ma'am. Thank you very much. And I know you are the support behind Boryada. I know he couldn't have done this alone. Very well done, and I'm really proud of RevSportz.
Okay, take it.
Thank you very much, Atul bhai, and we will do more good work together. Now we have a very short, 4-5 minute window before we have the next speaker scheduled. So we have
I
just,
am
as
going.
all our investors, as all our investors know, that we have just, redone our website, which already had very high traffic, and now we've just launched the new website yesterday. And with me here is the man behind the new website, Debojyoti. We will show you the website on the screen. It has several new features, and one added feature is that we've also introduced live scoring, which will be available from tomorrow. You will be able to see it. We already tested it during the last ODI. So we will just be showing you, running you through the new website. Just take a look. If you have any questions, Debojyoti will be seated here and he will answer any questions you might have. Chalo, website ta chalo. Up down করতে বলি ওদেরকে একটু আপ ডাউন কর
Hello everyone, this is our new website. We have launched this just yesterday, requesting my backend to scroll it down. This has been done on WordPress, and this is running under a VPS, and that technology behind this is WordPress. And we are having live score at the top of the website. The videos, and this is the section where live scores will be updated, and this is automated. Requesting my backend to click on the load mode section. Can you just click one of the article? And this is a very slick design where you can share the articles on social media. And there is a new feature on this website. If you scroll it down, you'll have an endless loop of the articles. Back and please scroll down. Scroll it down, scroll it down. And here is the endless loop where you can read and add comments. But the latest technology is not getting it heavy. So if you scroll it down, throughout the day, you will have new articles.
We have already launched the Android app, and the Apple app is coming soon. So we are having download our app link at the top of the website. Whenever you are going to click this button, you will have the Google Play link. We are having the team and the brand sponsors at the top of the website. And the logos of the brand partners are being displayed on the homepage itself, and a separate page, of course. So that's all for now. Yes. So just to give you guys some details, Devojyoti has been working on this website for 4 months, 5 months. And he has multiple times, we've had at least 30-40 meetings. We first identified the best sports websites that we could. So whether it's a Daily Mail, whether it is a Crickbuzz, whether it is a Crickinfo, whether it is multiple other Sky Sports, ABC, etc., etc. And then we decided to take the best features from each website. That's how Devojyoti then kind of made this together, saying that, look, this is the feature that we've taken from X, this is the feature that we've taken from Y. And then we started trialing it at the back end, so that the speed, then this continuous look and feel that he's talking about. My suggestion would be each one of you should try the website on at your end and keep using it. And then obviously if there are any glitches or whatever you come across, because it's a brand new development, so you let us know and we will fix that. Then came the live scoring bit, the ball by ball. When you see the match from tomorrow, you will see the ball by ball. So check that out. Check that out. You will see a lot of cricket. You will see a lot of football. And I've told Devojyoti, for every multi-nation event, whether it is a CWG or an Olympic Games, we will have a multi-nation event coverage, live real-time scoring as well. So you will have, basically this website becomes the one-stop shop for every kind of sports aficionado, which doesn't exist. Crickbuzz specific to cricket, Crickinfo the same, Bridge specific to Olympic sport, Indian Express, they just give some live update like that. This should become, along with the articles and everything else, should become the one-stop shop for people. So I want to thank Devojyoti for all the hard work. We've had multiple discussions, disagreements, arguments, fights, where we've said, no, this has to be done this manner. At no point did Devojyoti say no to me on anything. He was always accommodative. I have tried to sort of ask for more features, more this, some last moment, but that's how a job gets done to the best of its ability. So well done, and we will do a lot of work together. You're already working on the app, right? Devojyoti is already working on the iOS app. The iOS app we are planning to launch at the conclave. So the idea is to launch the iOS app and an improved version of the Android app, both at the conclave, because we want to take it progressively, first the website and then the app, and do it well. Thank you, Devojyoti. Thank you very much. For anything else you want to say? Okay. Now it's kind of my turn before I hand it over to Vinod. And then we will continue with our rest of our investors and partners. In between, Kaustubh Jha, who heads sport for the Coca-Cola Group now globally, Kaustubh will also briefly talk to us. How do I kind of set it up for Vinod? Vinod and I were in the Novotel Hotel of all things in Dubai in 2021, and I was actually on a half break from my previous organization where I had a consultancy with, which is India Today. And I was actually doing commentary for the ICC. So it was a break. It was during pujas. My family was with me. And I said, I don't want to do regular news broadcast every day, and was doing radio commentary. There were 5-6 member panel, Zahir Abbas, Clive Lloyd, myself, and 2-3 others. All of a sudden, the India-Pakistan match comes. And as it is with the Indian news media, I'm called and I'm told, oh, you know what, you've got to cover this for us. I said, no, I'm on a sabbatical. I'm doing commentary, I will not. And as you can understand, I was pushed saying, no, you've got to do this for us. And that's when it sort of snapped. I said, I've done it for 9 years. These fellows only want to do India-Pakistan. They do not understand sport. Sport is treated as a silo. Sport is a 7:30 p.m. news bulletin. It is nothing beyond that. I see 9 p.m. newspaper editors and television editors pushing and discriminating against young sports journalists. So if a Debashish Sen is on ground doing a Ravi Ashwin interview, it is Debashish Sen's interview. He cannot be told, go get me a Ravi Ashwin for my 9 p.m. bulletin. That's discriminatory. So RevSportz was a much needed breath of fresh air. It had to be disruptive. We needed to disrupt, break the existing ecosystem, break the clutter, create something afresh, which gives young journalists and would-be journalists a new wing. And I remember telling Vinod this. We sat down, Charu joined us actually. We sat down at that butter bread or whatever that cafe in that hotel, and we spent about 3-4 hours. In that 3-4 hours, and Vinod said, but you've got these ideas, why are you not doing it? Now, I still consider myself to be an intellectual. I'm an academic. My PhD is from the University of Oxford. I've taught in multiple universities of the world. I am not a salesperson, nor a marketing person, nor an entrepreneur. Now I am, which is a forced one. So I said, but I've got these ideas. I want to do it, but I don't know how to go about it. I don't know how to set up a company. I don't know how to do this. Shomishta obviously came on board. Vinod and I had that conversation, and Vinod said, I'll do the finance, I'll do everything. Just do it. Just do it. Let's join hands and do it. I want to back you to the fullest. And that's how RevSportz was born. I've got a half-an-hour session between 1 and 1:30. I'll tell you more. But now over to Vinod. Vinod and I have had multiple fights, multiple arguments, disagreements. But the engagement has always been proper. We know we are after one thing, and that is excellence. We know we are here to make disruption in the Indian sporting ecosystem. We know that we will break new ground with fullest of ethicality, fullest of integrity, and fullest of honesty. That's something that binds us. At no point will that waver. So ladies and gentlemen, deeply, deeply appreciative of the work that he has done and the support that he has been for Shobishta and me, Vinod Agarwal. Vinod, over to you.
Always been part of life since I started running or jogging, whatever it is. So I'll just give you dreams do take wings when you go with zeal and passion. Extraordinary things will happen, and that is what RevSportz is. It is one such story. And we've failed, we've lost the plot, we've been despaired, we've a lot of times we were just at wit's end to figure out what's going on. And we've seen all of that in RevSport. More will come, but we will still fight it out and break down boundaries of sports news coverage and also bring untold stories. That's how I look at RevSportz. A dream which was born in Novotel 21. Yeah, exactly. In Dubai, we were just, as Buria said, we were just thinking about what to do. It had no roadmap, some vision. But I said, there is willingness to go whole hog. And I said, let's revolutionize sports coverage, content. And this is where we are today with the people, with a 60-member team, all started out. We heard stories from them that they just started out from nowhere, just the pure love for sport, or just trying out something very, very different. Lovely stories, goosebumps from what the team has done, where they came from and where they are today. So that's what the journey has been for me. And I'll talk about the brand RevSportz. We were looking for a brand name for the platform. And as he said that he wanted to revolutionize the sports coverage, I said, why don't we figure out a simple brand name that can, be easy to pronounce and really talks about what we're trying to do. And that's when it came to my mind that RevSportz, which is nothing but revolutionizing sports coverage and storytelling and content. And that's how the name was born. And so if you look at the spelling, the last letter is Z and not S, because S was not available as a brand name, So that's how I said, let's put it S, so it's also differentiated and not the run-of-the-mill S that stands for sports. So that's how the brand name started off. And, startups are part of my DNA as a Madu. Generally, startups and entrepreneurial stories are, quite natural, whether you like it or not. And you will fail multiple times. You may succeed. You may not even succeed. You die on a deathbed with no stories to write of successes. So, but startups need maverick founders and maverick people to do, because they just break down boundaries. So founders have to be borderline crazy and passionate. And that is what Mr. Mazumdar is. And when I listened to him, I was seeing that this guy is talking from heart, crazy stuff, and we needed people who could back him. And if you fail, fine. It's an opportunity well tried. At least you go back, you die with no regrets that you not tried. And that's how the journey started. And across the journey, got some like-minded friends to help us fund the journey, and a lot of them are here already. And one common bind from everybody is it's not about the money, it's about the vision of sport, that everybody's played but not everybody could probably succeed, or just pure love for sport, and that's how they back the venture. So let's best wishes, and let's keep the pushing the boundaries of excellence. And thanks to all the sponsors who supported the vision and will continue to support the vision. And so that's the small story, and we'll keep doing it. So thanks. That's from my side. Jamin, is it your turn or somebody else coming in?
No, I think
Vinod,
it's
I'll
my
have
turn.
to take a. Sorry, Ashok and Jamin and Vinod, I'll have to take a break. I have another call to attend, and if I get an opportunity, I'll join back in some time.
Why don't you
But
speak
great
now
job
then?
done. Okay, then give me 2 minutes. Right, Ashok, thank you. I'll just finish in 2 minutes. I think I got pulled into. I worked with Vinod earlier in Vietnam when Vinod was younger, fitter, and had more hair on his head. He was a wannabe fast bowler who could never get people out. But when he called me about RevSportz, it was he did not pitch it as a financial investment at all. He said, Himanshu, we'll do something big in sports, and it's an opportunity. It may work, it may not work. I do invest in Indian startup ecosystem. But for RevSportz, I don't remember having even one financial conversation with them. It was purely about the idea, and I think that is what good ventures are. They're not about just making money. It starts with an idea that is that the founders passionately believe in, and then they get people who are willing to back that vision. And sometimes when stars align, those ventures become successful. I think RevSportz is one of those things that we are doing for the vision. And with whatever I see so far, it is going in the right direction. And I hope, eventually, and I've also met Boria. I've been reading Boria's articles for a very long time. I'm a Calcutta boy, so I've kind of, loved the sport from early days. I've followed Loken Pratap Shahi and Boria for a very, very long time. So when this thing came around, my first reaction was why not? And here we are. I'm very glad to hear the stories. Some of these stories are the stories, and I was messaging Vinod when we were hearing that these sound like early days of when we started out as an organization 35 years back. So all the best, and you will always have our support. And thank you, Ashok, for giving me this opportunity. I really have to push out now. I'll see if I can join back in an hour or so. Bye.
Thank you, Himanshu, for those encouraging words. My name is Ashok Nambudri, and I'm going to start off by saying that, congratulations to everybody at Team RevSportz. It's the 4th anniversary, and as we all know, 4 runs can make a difference between India and the World Cup. 4 runs can make a difference between the women's team and the World Cup. 4 points can make a difference in any athletic sport. It's not a small word, but it's also a big word, because to have come to this stage of having finished 4 years itself is a big thing. As somebody who's cut his teeth in corporate life, I can tell you that to have reached where we have reached with RevSportz over 4 years is no mean achievement. And we all need to be proud of that fact. Proud of the fact that we have all contributed in our own ways to making this organization reach where it has. If you go back and look at what RevSportz has together done in time. And all of you have been there, done that. So I'm not going to recall the entire list. But from the 2021 Novotel Hotel, incidentally, I was also there, and then I disappeared for some time, and then I re-entered the family. But if you look at what RevSportz has achieved, fantastic coverage of every event: cricket, non-cricket, Olympic, Paralympic sports, marathons, in a manner which is unprecedented, in a manner where the sports ecosystem has sat up and taken notice of, in terms of the quality of coverage, in terms of the depth of coverage, in terms of the number of people on ground actually covering the event. It's been stupendous. If you look at the website, now we have moved up, we have upgraded the website. We are now incorporating scoring. We have recently completed our first syndicated content for an external platform. We are now working, and even as I speak, today we kick off a football show, not for RevSportz, but for a third party platform, and the beginning of many more such exciting adventures to come. Earlier, a couple of weeks ago, we finished our first documentary, a 30-minute documentary, which could take its pride of place on any platform anywhere else in the world. We are venturing into education, we are looking at a foundation, and there is so much more on the anvil that the first message that I'd like to really call out is that having come this way, it's no mean achievement, but we are on the cusp of something really, really big. I think the biggest thing that uh, inspires me is that I know that we are on the cusp of making history. We are here with a dream, we are here with a vision, and it takes madness, it takes that sheer spirit of madness to make something happen in a space like this. The, the world of sports, told from a fan first lens, is undergoing a revolution which is going to be unprecedented. The younger generation is saying, don't give me a match which is spread over 5 days, don't give me a match over 4 hours, don't give me a match over 2 hours. Tell me that story in 30 seconds. Tell me that story in terms of behind the scenes. Tell me that story in terms of what are the highlights. And Rev Sports has the ability to do that not just in cricket, but across all sports. And so innovation is going to be the next frontier. If we're able to push that, then greatness lies beyond. I think the second point that I'd like to call out in a startup situation like this is that sometimes you have a feeling of ambiguity. There's a lot going on. There is madness, there's craziness. Sometimes you don't know whether you're coming or whether you're going. Sometimes you feel a little lost. That's all right. I think what matters is that the vision is a shared vision. Sometimes you just need to believe that the madness is going to lead to something different. Most startups, when they start out the journey, don't really know where they're heading. And that's why corporate speak comes up with things like, we have pivoted. I don't think anybody actually invented the word pivot. The pivot is actually a thinking to say, this didn't work, so let's just try something else. And that's where things happen, that's where magic happens. It takes, however, a lot of discipline, a lot of effort, a lot of staying power, a lot of perseverance to keep going on this journey to make things happen. And so the vision is important, the ability to stay on is equally important. And it is not going to be about one person, it's not going to be about two people, it's going to be about every individual. Every single caption that you make right, every single video that you shoot, every production that you edit is all going to add up to create history. And to stay that course in terms of discipline, to stay that course in terms of believing in yourself and making it happen, will need our ability to say we will get it right, and there is no scope for laxity or no scope for putting in 75% of the effort when you can put in 100% of the effort. And that's what will define how successful we are. At the helm of affairs, we have a madman, and we need madmen to make this happen. I'm sure Boria will not take exception to my comment on him. But I think, sometimes we wonder why is it that, he keeps pushing us. Sometimes we wonder why is it that
he is juggling so much? Why is it that he is paying attention to everything? Why is it that he calls us at 3 a.m. and says this needs to be done or that needs to be done? But sometimes logic fails, success begins to happen. Magic happens when you have somebody thinking like that, and therefore I think we are just plain lucky to have both Sharmishta and Boria leading this entire effort, and I think we are really on the cusp of bigness. To conclude, like I said, we are four today. Sometimes I see not four but 40 messages from Boria on one small thing, but I laugh thinking that it is that passion that actually ignites and inspires me to keep going. And I hope it's the same thing that keeps all of us going because we are definitely going to make history. Thank you.
Should I go ahead? Should
Please?
I go ahead?
Yeah, Javid. Over to you. Yeah, I was about to say that. Please.
Okay. No, thanks, Boria. I'm possibly the oldest on this group right now, but having read and seen Boria for a lot of time, for decades for me, one of the things which has always struck me about him is the passion, the energy level, the josh which he brings into everything that he does. And I quite agree with what Ashok said. You need that kind of passion, that kind of madman to make things happen. And that's what Rev Sports is all about. You know, having met him, I'm not getting into that detail, but seeing the passion with which he's getting on to creating Rev Sports to make a mark for itself in Indian sports. And one needs to build in the same kind of passion, the same kind of energy in every team member here. And what I've seen today, and in my association for about a year now, has certainly something which I'm very, very happy about. You know, uh, you all are very much closer to sports, whereas I've spent almost all my life in corporate roles. But the principles which are guiding for success, I don't think are very, very different. You know, I've seen how experts you all are in what you're covering, going deep into the aspects of what is involved, learning constantly. We heard stories right now about how someone was thrown into covering chess when he was complete novice on that or didn't know about it. But the fact that you need to learn, the fact that you need to be an expert in what you're doing and earn respect from people who are listening to you, people who are kind of you're covering, which is the players themselves or the administrators, is something which I've seen with a lot of passion here. I've also seen the team here, and not just Boria, but networking with a lot of people who are involved here, whether it is the players, officials, patrons, fans. This takes a lot of hard work, and there's no shortcut. The other thing is, of course, one is all very good at content, but in increasing times when video has become so much more important, it's beyond form. Substance is also critical, and the finesse with which we come across at time, I mean, on most times, is something which we have to keep going. The new website, the studio which we are creating, I think are going to be milestones to look for, and I think we are certainly there to build the best. Exclusives have been very good from Rev Sports, and we keep looking for it. But again, it's very important to know where to draw the line. And I was very, very the piece with Boria wrote on Smriti Mandana's private space, extremely critical and something which we have to keep respecting all the time. We at Rev Sports here are there for the long term, and to that extent, credibility and trust are more important. Again, it takes a lot of hard work, and that's what you all are getting into. So in these 4 years, we've made a lot of effort, a definite mark in the field of Indian sports. You know, as a matter of coincidence, while Rev Sports turns 40 today, just about 10 days ago, we celebrated 40 years of the organization which I spent 30 years at. And I see a lot of commonness here, hearing a lot of you today. The term which we use for us is we were professional entrepreneurs. We let people come in with the same passion, with the same josh, and we threw them to do newer things. They made mistakes, but that's how they became leaders. Actually, when I retired, I was reflecting upon what had happened, and there was a lot of things which I reflected on, which I had done was something which was well beyond what I thought I would do earlier. And that was because the firm had the confidence in me. And that's what I see very, very similar things here with the team here. The other thing which struck me today was a complete sense of ownership. I mean, it is like, you're not here, you're very much here as part of something which are owning the company, being part of the team there, and that's what we really need. So, here's wishing the young team the very best to make RevSportz the best media house on Indian sports anywhere. All the best.
But I
Thanks,
will.
Jamin.
Uh,
Thank you.
I will. We were walking out of the Paris metro, and we were walking out of a metro station and walking to the Stade de France for a Paralympic event. And all of a sudden, I see somebody jogging a little fast, walking, literally sort of catching up with me and saying, "Oh, I've been following your coverage." And I looked at the gentleman and I said, "Have you come here to watch the Paralympic Games?" And he said, "Yes." And I clearly realized this man must be completely mad, as mad as I was, because I was at least doing work. He had come there to watch the Paralympic Games. Jaimin Bhatt, we got talking today. He's part of the movement. He's been supremely supportive of everything. He's a special man. And a special, how do I put it, appreciation, thank you to him, because people like him make the Indian sporting ecosystem the positive environment that it should be. So Jaimin Bhatt, thank you very, very much for being a part of the journey. Thank you. To someone now who is actually a birthday boy. So very, very happy birthday to perhaps the best doctor that I know. Someone again who I consider family, who's been part of a lot of things that I've done. One of our newest investors, partner, collaborator. Over to you, Raja Dhar, because I know there are patients sitting all through at CMRI, because I don't want to deprive them of your time. So over to you for a quick whatever. But Raja Dhar, deeply delighted to have you on board as part of this meeting and for the larger effort. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Raja Dhar.
Been said, and like Boria said, I am the newest member of the RevSport family, but a very proud member of the RevSport family. I won't take long, I'll take a couple of minutes, but I'll do a personal take on sports and why I have become associated with RevSport. So goes back to my childhood. My dad, who used to be a very passionate sports enthusiast, and I used to work in All India Radio, which was just overlooking the Eden Gardens at that time. You didn't have the big billboards at that point. You could actually sit in the office and look into Eden Gardens at the time. And the association goes back then, and I have been brought up on a large dose of cricket, of course, but sports of all descriptions. And I've actually found sports very inspiring. I have found that during my lifetime, one of the things that has got me up when I have been down, and I've been down on multiple occasions with various problems, not least a bad accident that I had now just about more than a year ago, which almost killed me. But I think sports has been something that has really, really motivated me, got me up on my feet. And I'll be honest with you, I have been a Boria Mazumdar fan. I have been a cricket fan and hence a Boria Mazumdar fan. I have always watched him speaking. I've heard his thoughts. And I think while he is a great sports commentator, analyst, enthusiast, but his thought process I've found is different and inspiring to a lot of other people in the same genre, in the same category that I've heard before. So I think my becoming an investor in RevSport reflects my belief in the power of sports to inspire, unite, and maybe transform communities as a whole. I think the mission that all of you have to support sporting talent resonates with my value about sports. And I think we should go way beyond cricket and men's sports. And I think that's one of the things that really, really impresses me about the way RevSport operates. I don't say this for the sake of saying this. I am absolutely delighted. I know I'm an investor, but I would, as Boria put it, very happily be a collaborator. I would want to try and participate in the activities that all of you do. I know my capabilities of participating in the way RevSport does things would be limited. I don't think I can have the understanding of sports and all its intricacies the way you guys have it. But in whichever way I can give a helping hand, I think I'd be delighted to do it. There's a lot of similarities between sports and being a healthcare worker. I think the stress management, the mental toughness, the decision making bit under pressure, the discipline and the work ethics, and very important, I think dealing with hope is some of the things that resonate deeply with a medic, and I'm sure it's even more so with the sports person and with people who are associated with sports. So absolutely, absolute honor to be here. I'm sure this will be a journey where, with Boria, with all of you in RevSportz, we'll go a long way, and it's an honor for me to be associated with all of you. Thank you very much.
Raja said it very nicely. I mean, in the conclave, we are planning multiple sessions on sport and health where we would require Raja's active participation. In fact, Raja will be part of the inaugural day on the 14th of March because someone of his domain is actually going to kick off the conclave this year. So it'll be Dinshaw Padiwala along with Adil Sumariwala, Raja Dhor, and Sanjeev Navangul. So we will talk about sport, medicine, healthcare at length as part of this year's conclave. So Raja, the pleasure is ours. Much like Jaimin, yourself, Manish, everyone, each one of our investors, they're just not investors here. It's not about putting in money into a startup. It's about living that journey together. So Raja Dhar, thank you very much once again. Deeply honored and happy birthday. We'll have the cake here, but the bill is going to be paid by you. So be ready. So that's happening. Thank you once again. Thank you. I don't want to hold you up because I know you're in hospital. Thanks.
Thank you.
Manish, can we quickly go to you and have you, because you've been with us. I mean, you don't want to speak. That's not fair. Can I please request you to say a few words to the team and people watching, because we are live also, to all our investors and to the team. Manish, over to you.
Thanks, Buria. So of course I'm here mainly because Vinod was the one who kind of brought me into the loop, and we and Vinod go back a long time, 20 years. So thanks for having me here. So first of all, congrats to the entire team on your 4th anniversary. I think it's been a wonderful time watching and following you become a well-known digital sports platform across multi-sport. I have met some of you personally. I remember I met with Boria in Australia while in a match, and it was a funny incident I want to share quickly. I was with one of my Japanese colleagues, and I had taken him as well. I said, he had never watched a cricket match, and so I took him for watching the match, and we had lunch post that with Boria and the team. And suddenly, impromptu, Boria said, we don't have. It'd be a good idea to have a Japanese support the Indian team. So he did a small clip in the restaurant where my colleague was, saying, come on, Virat Kohli or Surya Kumar was very good, because he had already seen the match, and so very something very different, and the willingness to take on a risk and just impromptu decide what you want to do. So that kind of puts me there. uh, so like I said, I met some of you personally. I follow RevSportz on social media and always enjoy the content, which I find very creative, insightful, and sometimes bold, and maybe even audacious at times. And I think that's what the hook is all about. The other thing that has given me immense pride, or a sense of pride in being associated with all of you, is that you have clearly positioned RevSportz as a multi-sport, or rather a sports first platform, rather than a cricket first, or a single sport, which is obviously the most popular way to go. So this, I think, has elevated us to the next level in terms of thought leadership and respect that we kind of heard today for a few people. And lastly, on the leadership front, I would definitely like to congratulate Boria, Shormishta, and of course Prantik, Vinod, who have been at the forefront, whom I see more often whenever we have any of these sessions, for the thought leadership, the vision, the willingness, and the ability to dream, and leading this journey with passion, and also being fully invested. As a startup, it's also it's a breath of fresh air. Normally, when you talk of startups, Vinod mentioned it, you hear about cash burn, valuation, everything is driven by how can we scale faster, reach there faster. And I think that's one breath of fresh air, because I see in the team the leadership leading it more as a bootstrapped founders mentality model, extremely tight on costs, always willing to chip in, being hands on, and really trying to run it the way as an owner or as a founder. So I think that's extremely good to watch. So wishing all of you the very best for the next four and beyond. And we'll always be there to back you, to support you, and hoping that with all the wonderful people, events that you cover, some of that gold dust will fall on us as well. So all the best.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you very, very much. I remember meeting Manish last in Australia, and thereafter multiple times we've had conversations, and this time in Dubai as well. Would want to have you as part of the conclave. So do remember if you can make it in March. Thank you once again, Manish, for joining us, and he's been part of our movement for a fairly long time and has seen us grow. To another very, very good friend of mine next. He heads sport and entertainment for the Coca-Cola Group. If there's one company or one company which has been with us from day one, even before conceptualizing, Coca-Cola was part of our journey, and this particular gentleman has been the spearhead. Yes, I have to mention Sanket and Ornab, but on a day-to-day basis, it's been Kaustubh Jha. Kaustubh is an absolute sports fanatic, a crazy sports lover himself, drives the entire sports vertical for the Coca-Cola company. All that you see as part of us, the breaking news, the thumbs up ads and Limca and all of that is thanks to Kaustubh. And Kaustubh and I have done work together for last many years. He was with Kolkata Knight Riders, distinguished corporate himself, and I requested him. I know he's got a meeting with the Cabinet Secretary Sports today for the FIFA World Cup that they are planning, the trophy tour that they are bringing to India in January, but he's taken time off to join us. Over to you, Kaustubh Jha.
No, thanks, Boria. And thanks for your kind words. Always so nice and so graceful and so eloquent. I think it's in your DNA, and that has been passed into the entire RevSportz DNA as well. But before I begin, first of all, like a massive congratulations to the entire RevSportz team on completing this incredible 4 years journey. And as Manish was sharing, it's not just like the 4 years, many more fours to come. And hopefully you start hitting from fours to sixes and whatnot in the future. So super excited about for the future journey to come in. And it is not just a pride milestone for RevSportz, but as you said, for Coca-Cola as well. We have been with you not just from year one, but from day one. From the beginning itself, I think we really felt that there's something special that we're bringing on the table from the day that you started sharing the idea about starting your own firm, this entire setup called RevSportz, and building that entire ecosystem coming together to not just elevate the reporting of sports into the Indian ecosystem, but to build a platform which is built on credibility, on storytelling, and a genuine commitment towards athletes and fans. And I think that is the truest way that we connected, because as a brand and as Coca-Cola, we also believe that fans are always needs to be at the heart of it. The story needs to be told to the consumer in the most passionate manner, in the most transparent manner as well. And I think that's where we connected, and that's where the vision aligned perfectly with our belief and what you bring on the table as part of the RevSportz culture and the RevSportz ecosystem. Supporting RevSport meant not just supporting you, but a partner who truly shares the same common passion, come with the same kind of an integrity and the ambition to tell the Indian sports story in the most transparent manner. And I think that has been the beauty of our partnership, and that has been the beauty of how you have been scaling it up uh, year on year. I mean, I think together we have done quite a lot of path-breaking stuff, groundbreaking stuff as well. And I still remember year one when we started discussing with uh, Olympics. We want to bring it to India, while Coca-Cola has been an Olympics partner for almost 100 years now at the LA28. We'll complete 100 years of our partnership. But in India, 4 years back, we were really planning to scale it up. And that's where the real connect happened with Thumbs Up and Palat De campaign, an idea that moved not just the country but showcased the true power of belief in the Indian sports ecosystem and amongst the athletes as well. And that's where you played a very, very important role to keep us honest, to keep us identify the right kind of a talent and help us also connect the right stakeholders in the most shortest of the window possible. And I can still completely recall those conversations sitting in this very room in our office and multiple others on a Zoom call. And I think the second piece that I would also like to highlight to this group and to the team here is the Limca Sports launch. Again, it is a Indian sports drink that we were launching for the first time in the country. And the best way to do is to partner with a sport which truly resonates with the Indian culture and with the Indian consumer. And you helped us identify hockey. You helped us identify Hockey World Cup. And that's where we started discussing with the stakeholders in Odisha. We went to Odisha together. We literally converted the World Cup into a Limca Sports launch platform, not just by making the product available in the market inside the stadium, but then connecting with the athletes and the sports right at the get-go. And then the expansion of Limca Sports into Limca Glucocharge and with hockey has happened in a way that now we are the national partners of Team Hockey India. We are doing a lot of grassroots development program with them, and all thanks to your support and your vision. That's again we are now translating within the Coca-Cola ecosystem. Uh, and to me, these are moments. These are not just campaigns. I mean, moments that we live on a day-to-day basis. And we are more than eager and keen to create many more moments like these in the future. But that's not yet, as I've said, it's just 4 years. There's a lot more to go, and 2026 is going to be a super exciting year for us as well. And there's a lot to happen. Boria did mention about the FIFA trophy. So we are bringing the official FIFA trophy to India after 11 long years. So we're bringing the trophy to Delhi, Guwahati, and then within our operating unit, we'll take it to Dhaka as well. And thanks to Buria, who has again graciously accepted our request to be present on all of these events and to be there as part of this core team on this side of the table. So we're bringing trophy to India. That's going to be a big one, and followed by we have the ICC World Cup coming in, followed by IPL. So something which we are calling literally as 100 days of cricketing thunders for us, and that is a very crucial time for us. It is a season time. From a business point of view, it is a peak summer. It is something which give us headway into the biggest passion point of cricket. And again, we are working very closely with Boria and his team to make sure that we deliver something really spectacular. Uh, with the FIFA trophy, we will have a very long tail approach into football as a key sport and as a key passion point by bringing FIFA World Cup 2026, EPL as a partnership that we have recently signed over a period of 3 years, Euro, which we have again extended to 2028. So when we speak to Boria, it is not just what needs to be done and delivered in next, say, 2 months, but what we can together build over a period of time and how much we can scale from our business point of view and together as a team, at least for the next 2 years and so on, to the extent that we have already into discussion of LA28, how we need to work together, how we need to bring the right kind of a story of India as a fast moving country, as a fast moving space in a big way. And not to forget women's cricket. Boria has always been telling me focus on women's cricket, and we have seen by our own eyes with this World Cup happening in India what a women cricket can deliver. And I think that has not just helped the momentum set up for us, for me, but for the entire Coca-Cola ecosystem within the Indian offices, like how strongly that pillar is and how we can work a lot more together. Uh, so yeah, that's literally been a 4 years journey, and I congratulate RevSportz once again. Thank you, Boria. Thank you, RevSportz, for being such a fabulous partner. I mean, you guys have not just challenged us, but we have grown together and we have pushed many boundaries together, and we'll continue to do so.
Thank you very much, Kaustav. I mean, he mentioned LA 28. I'll just say two things here. I mean, one is to say that, oh, we've been great partners, but anyone who knows me, I will come up with ideas and put it on the table. But it's tough when in 2020, 21, Paralympic sport was not what it is. I went to Kaustav and I said, listen, Tokyo can be a game changer. I remember we had a separate group for Paris when I said, oh, you know what, Paralympic sport has to be covered with the same verb. And we discussed which athletes Coca-Cola can pick up and back. But it's one thing to say that and one thing to go ahead and do that. I remember a meeting in the Coca-Cola office in Delhi where he and I both were there. We were talking about Olympics to their global team. There was a meeting in Jaipur. So Costa, personally, I mean, as I said, it could be part of your job, but it's one thing to go beyond the brief and make things happen, make the thunder possible. That's where you've made a difference, not just to us, but in doing this for the Indian sporting ecosystem across cricket, and when I say cricket, it's men's and women's. I mean, women's cricket 2-3 years back, yes, it had potential, but to believe then is what it is. Now every company will say, can you get us a woman cricketer as part of the conclave we want to felicitate? That is the problem with India. That's where you kind of stand out, Kaustubh Jha. I know you've got a meeting with the cabinet secretary, Hari Ranjan Rao and Kunal, for your FIFA tour. I'm conscious of the fact that you've taken time out for this, but deeply appreciative and deeply grateful. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Now to someone, again, who I have to say that he's been part of my life, Shormishta's life, our family life for the last 10 plus years. Since Aisha was born, if not before, I've known Sanjeev Navangul. When I was suffering or sort of going through an unfair ban, if there was one person who would call me on a regular basis and say, oh, you know what, tough times will test you, but you will come out triumphant. Sanjeev said something very interesting. Sanjeev at one point in time said, don't run after money, because if you run after money, you will lose focus of the change that you're trying to bring, the power that you are trying to kind of really bring to the Indian ecosystem. But if you have the power, you will not need the money. I remembered that saying in Sanjeev's house over some fantastic food in Bombay, and I started sort of chasing the change and the disruption in the Indian sports ecosystem and stop chasing money once and for all. Because I know that if we are the embodiment and the torchbearers of change, everything else will happen. Ladies and gentlemen, someone who I deeply, deeply value as a friend, as an advisor, as everything. I mean, crisis person who I kind of dial when I need Sanjeev Navangul. Sanjeev, over to you.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry I'm in the car because I had some meeting with the director of business, DBT, that is the Directorate of Business Biotechnology. And I'm actually going to Planning Commission to Niti Aayog. So I'm on my way. So please don't mind that. But before I say anything, my heartiest congratulations to RevSportz. This is a baby I've seen since inception, and I feel equally involved as something which is emotionally important to me that RevSport does well. Uh, I also believe that not only in the company but in the people involved with RevSportz. I think Boria is right when he says that, look, we have been knowing each other for long, but he did not mention one thing which I had told him, that more than anything, I trust his talent. And today, after 4 years, if something is shining out, it is the talent of a person, the passion of a person, and a team created. Yeah. I can see investors like Vinod there, who have placed faith since day one. And it is a really, really great occasion. And congratulations for reaching where have you reached. Uh, all of you will now think about different goals. You want to be and you are probably the number one on the web on sports now. And in Olympic sports, you are not only number one, but you are number 1 to 20. And then maybe 21st rank would be somebody else. You are starting to show enough recognition, gumption, and success of where you are going. And this is a critical juncture for all of you. As you start growing, as you start making the right investments, as you start building your company, And having done this many times in my life, I can tell you that these are sensitive times where passion starts colliding with goals. And how to keep your passion going during that time is something that probably you will have to keep thinking about. Look, for me, I look at Rev Sports slightly differently than probably what you people might be looking at. And let me explain why. And therefore, let me explain why it is so important to me. You are looking at it as one of the biggest sporting platforms in the country. You're looking at it to be the champions in nurturing sports, ensuring that sports in this country flourishes. Uh, it also ensures that every possible story that needs to be told about sports people is told to everyone. And those are things which are very, very dear to you. And you really want to ensure that sports gets its due recognition in the country. And which is also what I feel. So, yeah, I think I've been involved with a lot of sportsmen to feel that their story needs to be told. So I agree completely on these aspects. But let me raise the bar a little bit when I say something to you and tell you why I feel this is more important to me. And the bar to raise is on two things. One is, look, what we are trying to do here is creating a healthy nation. And that is something far, far more superior, important as a goal than anything else for me and you. I am in healthcare. You are also in healthcare for me. The more you promote sports, the more you are encouraging good health. And the more good health you encourage, you're creating a much better nation. See, a healthy nation will become a good, wealthy nation. A wealthy nation cannot be a healthy nation always. And we just have to see the sales of Bunjaro and Vigovi in US to know that a wealthy nation need not be a healthy nation. The peak sales of Munjaro is expected to be $40 billion. Yeah. So you can imagine the unhealthiness, what is prevalent in a wealthy nation. We don't want that. We want this country to be really, really healthy. And it is not physically healthy, but mentally healthy also. All that can be promoted through a single medium called sports. Sports teaches you everything. Many of us, all of us rather, always claim to be failed. In India, it is a fashion to be claiming as a failed cricketer. Hmm? All of us have failed at some stage and stopped. But the advantage we got, we learned so much through those years where we played the sport, that how to be a sporting person, how to remain healthy, how to exercise, how to be competitive, how to win. Everything that you can think of was learned. We also learned the percentage game, that not everything is about winning. There is win and lose, but you learn through everything. This country clearly needs a serious revolution in sporting tradition, because unless it does that, this country cannot become a very, very healthy country. We are currently enjoying demographic dividend of having a very strong young population to work. 20 years down the line, demographic dividend is going to be the demographic disaster for us, because aging population means that we will be dealing with different things. And we don't want our own bills, insurance bills, all other bills to be just raising and raising and raising in our lives. And the only thing that will save us is good habits. And good habits are only taught in sports. So as you start building your company, it is very important to understand what are you involved in. You are not involved in sports people who are successful today and whose stories you are telling, or people who are trying to be successful. Trying to make sports uniformly and acceptable to every citizen of this country. Every story that gets told tells us how much is possible. We have lived, we know this here, so I can say this, that we have lived in corporate life. So for us, achievement of 100% is excellence, and 110% is super excellence. Tell me, and I have had personal chats to say that I don't think even Sachin Tendulkar could say that his straight drive was the best one that he could have played. Excellence in sports, excellence in music has no limit. It is incredible the amount of excellence one can achieve. And this is the second thing what you are trying to do here, that you are telling people that excellence has no limit. We can challenge ourselves every day. We can challenge everything that we do and we can get better. Now, this is not easy for anybody to understand unless they are involved in these kind of activities like sport. And you are telling those stories every possible day. You're also telling people how human we are. You're also telling people how fragile we are. You're also telling people that you can win some, you can lose some, and you're therefore making better human beings. And I don't want you to get away from the fact that whatever you do, there is always a bigger story involved. Uh, I can tell you from experience, 36 years of corporate experience, people come to work because they have a job. But people don't perform because they have a job. People perform only because they have a cause. And that cause or the reason to be has to be given by leaders. And RevSportz is now the leader in sports. So it is your duty to ensure that that cause or the reason to do well has to be explained well by you people to everybody. So for me, RevSportz is a medium of much bigger things than sometimes what you think. And I take this very seriously, and therefore my support to you is all the time. What can I say? It's uncompromising support. The reason for that is basically because I believe in all of you. Known many of you, for quite some time now. I think I can never forget the enthusiasm that Trisha shows or Subhan shows, or all of you show, and the relationship you build with sports people because you genuinely believe in them and you believe in what you're doing. That doesn't happen so easily. Yeah, so it is something that takes a lot of effort in terms of creating a culture around it. And Boria and Sharmishta are creating great culture around the company. Both of them are very, very passionate about what they are doing. I think last year I met Gargi, and in 1 year I can see the development what she is bringing to the table. So everybody whom I know in the place, I can see them becoming better people, better human beings, and better at what they do. So it's also personal excellence that is improving with all this. Uh, we are entering a very interesting phase where probably we are getting Commonwealth Games, which we have done before. So it's probably may not be one of the biggest things that's happening. But Commonwealth Games today is a stepping stone towards having Olympics in India. And Olympics in India is such a big thing. So many things have to go right before we get Olympics to India. We are currently helping the Moroccan government get them rabies free because they have got a big sporting event coming and they need to declare their country rabies free. I just now had a talk with the DVD secretary on how to make India rabies free if we were to prepare for ourselves for the Olympics. So can you imagine Olympics means so many other things to so many people? It need not be only about sport. It's about a whole, and history tells us that Olympics have been held to declare nations to have arrived at the world stage. London did it twice after World War to present themselves. 1930s Los Angeles Olympics was all about, 32 was all about USA telling the world that we are the superpower. Berlin 36 was all about Hitler saying that Germany has arrived. You go in history, 64 Tokyo was about announcing that Japan is now a global superpower. Yeah, I go to Korea, 1988 Seoul. It was all about Korea announcing at the world stage. So you see, Olympics after Olympics, there is a statement being made. And therefore, if Olympics have to come to the country, next 10 years have to be great hard work for us as a country. And I believe RevSportz is probably the one of the most fascinating companies that would be involved in getting the country ready to build us to conducting an Olympics. And that means India can say to the world that here is a superpower that has arrived. So it means much more than holding a sporting Olympics. So we have to understand the macro story of what we are doing. I can only wish you all the best. I know you are one of the finest now in the country. I want you to be one of the finest in the world, and I'm always there to help out whatever I can do. I'm complete novice to your field. I don't know much about what you understand. Your field is much more nuanced than what I do, but uh, unstinted support is something which I can give you. and we always be the well-wisher that you want to be, always be the broadcaster that to tell everyone that, look, here is a group of people, bunch of people who are trying to do extraordinary things. Organizations bring in ordinary people so that ordinary people can do extraordinary things. And that's what RevSportz is doing. So my congratulations. I wish you all the best. And I'm so proud of being associated with RevSportz. I feel taller whenever I get associated with RevSportz. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Boria. Thank you, Sharmishta, for being so nice to me always and so kind to me. So I wish you all the best and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
That was brilliant. I mean, absolutely brilliant. And what Sanjeev said, I don't know how many of you know, 1988 Seoul Olympics, the opening ceremony was actually performed by KGB, CIA, and British intelligence agents. These things don't come out in the public domain. And 2 people actually died in the training. And who said this to me? Johan Antonio Samaranch in a meeting in Lausanne. That's the Olympic Games. It's far more than a sports event that will be staged in India. If sport is soft power, we can be the flag bearers of that particular journey here at RevSportz. So Sanjeev Navangul, again, I mean, he is modest, but the support that we've got at a professional and personal level, the fact that we've been able to foray into mental health, into women's health, we do multiple sessions at the conclave. Sanjeev has already committed once again, and every time I call him, he said, "Tu pooch kyun raha hai? Ye to tu janta hai ki main karunga." So that's the kind of support that one gets, and that kind of empowers you, emboldens you, encourages you to try and make change and disrupt. Sanjeev, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
That kind of brings us to open this up. I don't know who has the still in the background or backstage, because there are a lot of people. Rohan is handling that. I don't know who's there among investors. Otherwise, I've got some things to say about 2026 and take questions from our team, from our investors, from partners, collaborators, whatever. I've already got many messages in personal from Ashok, from Vinod, from our investor group, from even people here saying that this has been fantastic. It has been. It has been an eye-opening experience, and it was actually Shormishta's plan that let's do it this way. So it actually worked beautifully well. Devashish started it, and thereafter, whether it's Trisha or Orko or Shubhan or Gargi or Rohit or Rohan or Mohor or whoever spoke, Rahul and everybody, Snehashish and the whole team, and then everyone here, this has been fascinating. Let's just, I will say 2-3 things. One, every time we kind of take stock, this is not a pat on our back kind of thing, there are some really critical things that we also need to talk to us about. One is teamwork. I think so far this has been a platform for individual excellence. People are doing great work, but at an individual level, it is Atreo's piece or Puria's piece or Trisha's piece or Shormishta's piece or Gargi's piece or Shubhan's piece. Frankly, it is not a RevSportz copy yet. Which is why you will see at the social media level, we were having this discussion in our work group. We need to own our copies. We need to own our events. The Empowerment Cup was such a fantastic initiative. Unfortunately, we ourselves did not promote it as much as we should have and made the noise in our platforms and nationally pushed it into multiple groups. So there are gaping issues there. We need to hold up the mirror for us and not say that everything is brilliant. Everything is not brilliant yet, will be brilliant and has been stellar, but there are many learnings that we can improve. Coming to the 26th conclave, it will be the single biggest event in the history of RevSportz. The budget will be twice of what we had in 25. We are in the process of getting that done. Ashok has concluded a new brand partnership with a Tata Group energy drink, energy powder yesterday with another colleague of his called Parth Biswas. He's put out the piece today. So new partnership. I'm in close touch with Titan. Mia had a call this morning and with Tata Motors. So multiple new brand partnerships are in the pipeline. I know Jaimin is doing his bit. I know Manish is. I know Vinod is. I know everyone is. So the point here is media is a 24/7 job. Suppose Shubhan or Gargi or Rohit or Trisha are on a break tomorrow, and everyone deserves the break. The story will not break at 11 p.m. telling you that, oh, you know what, Trisha, today is your off day, or Gargi or Shubhan, today is your off day. The story will break irrespective. It is a profession you have chosen. We have chosen. We have chosen to be the best in this field. Whether or not the story breaks at 11 p.m. or 3 a.m. is not my concern. The story has to be done. That's why we are in this media space. Simple as that. So the RevSportz dream lives on. 26, we will cover, I think, 20 plus sports from on ground, be it the under 19 in Jan, the T20 World Cup in India, of course the IPL, the Badminton World Championship, the Paralympics, qualifying events, the Hockey World Cup in Belgium and Netherlands, the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, the Asian Games in Japan, the Women's World Cup in the United Kingdom, all of the Indian women's bilateral tours, all of as much as possible hockey, including the major tournaments. So the grid is more than full. What does this mean? It will mean newer people getting opportunity. If it's domestic football, what Ashok said, he's opened up the Z bouquet with syndication. So we will have multi-sport. The one thing I'll point out, each one of us have now adopted a second sport. I follow all 28. Dilip does, Atreo does quite a few now, Trisha does, Gargi has started badminton and hockey, Atreo obviously chess, Shomnath will pick up one more, Rahul does football plus cricket, Snehashish women's cricket plus one more. So the point here is, Debashish, of course, cricket and football, and the energy that Debashish brings to the table is something I deeply admire and appreciate. I tell him every day. So each one doing a second sport, and enriches us as well. And I see the kind of applications we now get for jobs. People want to be a part of us. People know that these are the guys who will give opportunity. But there also, when I see applications, people want to tour first. People want to get an international tour first and hard work later. That's the problem with the fraternity. The fraternity is struggling. Jobs are going. Media is in crisis. And that is where RevSportz is a kind of breath of fresh air. I'll stop there. I'll open it up for questions if there are any. And let's kind of do it for the next. We've got time. We said till 1:30. And then we will kind of conclude this discussion. So anyone here who's backstage or anybody wanting to, by the way, people who are watching still ask Shubman Gill update. Shubman Gill has just reached the COE, folks. So he should play the T20 series, provided the rehab goes well. So that's the Shubman Gill update. He will possibly play the last 3 T20s. So people who are asking continuously about Shubman Gill, that is the Shubman Gill update. Anyway, anybody, any question, any comment, anybody, anything under the sun, be critical, tell us. Last 15 minutes of free-flowing talk. Vinod, why don't you start with anything, or Himanshu or Jaimin? I can see you guys here. Anyone else from the room here outside also can ask any question. No questions? You're on mute. Hey, Vinod,
so if there are no questions, let me. So if there are no questions, let me ask you a corporate style question, Boria.
Do. अरे यार विनोद के अनम्यूट करो भाई.
Chalo ja.
If there are no questions, okay. So if there are no questions, let me ask you a corporate style question, Boria. For a very long time, we've said during Trailblazers we will launch the new website. Now I heard that you're going to launch a new iOS app as well during the Trailblazers conclave, and we said that we'll do Trailblazers as the next milestone. But the question is, what after that? What next? Is there a short-term, medium-term, long-term vision in 1 year, 3 year, 5 year time frame?
Superb question, and it kind of gets me going. So yes, the short term is all of this. The website has been launched today. The app will be launched at Trailblazers, but these things are no milestones for me. But the studio we will give you a demo of the studio. It will Kolkata construction. So Himanshu, as well as I do, it will not be ready by then, maybe another 3 months or 4 months, but work is full scale on. So when you guys are here, you all can go and see to what extent it's complete. But that's again, not the vision. Brick and mortar cannot be the vision for an intellectual media organization. What's the vision? The vision is to open up 3 different domains of work, where obviously the top line will be added to, proper intellectual growth will happen. So what are the ones? 1, education. At Trailblazers, we will launch our sports education plan. You will see the e-brochure out in January. It's a partnership with Bengal Institute of Business Studies. You will see the course outline also put out at Trailblazers. And the course is getting launched with 70 students, MBA proper course, for about 7 to 8 months duration in July of 26. So the studio conference room will be used for offline teaching. Some of our investors, some of our colleagues from outside of Calcutta will teach online. Celebrity guests like Pullela Gopichand has also agreed to teach online. So education is one big vertical where we are foraying and will have impact. Why now? Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, India needs sports managers. And the kind of experience we now have. Preparing a bid is a 6,000 crore enterprise. I think Jaimin will know about it. I've worked in the 2016 failed Chicago bid myself, which Barack Obama led, and Chicago lost out in the first round. So you can imagine that Obama at his peak and Chicago lost out in the first round. So that's a big foray into education. Number two, we want to launch what we are doing as far as Trailblazers in Calcutta. Over a period of time, we've been continuously talking with people in the Northeast and launch Northeast Rising as our second property. I've had chats with Conrad Sangma. I've had chats with Himonto Biswa Sharma in Assam. I've had chats with Debajit Saikia. And they have all promised, Debajit in fact messaged today also, all of them have promised fullest support if we are doing an event in the Northeast. We need to get this belt totally with us in terms of our event flow. So the moment you do a second conclave, your top line gets significantly impacted, which will help valuation. So education is one foray. You will see it in 26. Conclave, you will see a second event launched in 27. The third plan, which again, I think is extremely important. We are now getting into the syndication domain thanks to Ashok. We've got a show called Banters, which is being shot today. In fact, in the next 20 minutes. So Ashok and Gargi will be overseeing the show. Neil here will be the editor and Rohan will be the hands-on person. So the four of them are the RevSportz team to do the back end with talent, one in Kenya, one in Nigeria, one in South Africa, and one, I think, in Botswana. So imagine this, a full African, 4 different countries with different time zones. The show is being shot by us, produced by us, and will be put out in Z platforms starting this Friday. So that's the third foray, syndication. This football contract with Z is supposed to be annual. So after this, it will become FIFA. After FIFA, the Champions League, and the story will continue. 4, we are getting into the documentary space. We've already done one for Z. I'm speaking to multiple other partners, including corporates, if we can document their story. Governments like the government of Odisha, the government of Kerala. So to answer you, Himanshu, there's a lot that is in the pipeline. Obviously, some will take time, but some definitely happening in 26. Like I told you, multiple things are certainly going to be off the ground in 26. So the plan is grand. I don't like to play short, sort of small scale things because there's no point doing that. If we really want to disrupt, we really want to disrupt big. And the best part, the relationship with federations and the powers that be in the country are at their best at the moment. So if we want to do something, I am very confident that we will get support there. So I'll stop there. Vinod, can unmute karo, please? Yeah.
So, Bhaiya, how will the national sports events are not really covered by mainstream apart from small snippets on either Indian Express or Hindu and all that? How are we going to be a disruptor in that field? Like we've covered other events. So, a national athletic event, I know you've mentioned some. Why don't you elaborate on how these national events will get their rightful due? Because there is no coverage effectively, no headlines, nothing. How do we? And that's our reason, right? That's why we were born as a platform.
Yeah, totally correct again. And specific examples. Tomorrow, Rahul goes to Goa for the Super Cup. You will see 25 people watching the Super Cup on television. I bet you. I mean, you will see 100 people watching an East Bengal match in the Super Cup in Goa. But we will have our reporter on ground. 100%. Make no mistake. We will have Abhishek Mishra in Chennai starting today. He was finishing the Syed Modi. He is actually in Chennai starting tomorrow, for the Junior Hockey World Cup. He will be there for the national games. So all our reporters, maximum sporting events, whether it is football, Devashish and Rahul do a fabulous job. Shomnath has now joined them. whether it is the Indian Open in Delhi, which Gargi and Rohit Juglan will do, or the Badminton World Championship, where I'm going to push Mohor Shoujani and the newer team into the deep end, go do a World Championship. Whether it is anything to do with parasport, where I will actually draw on Jaimin also, because Rohan was just telling me that, you know, Jaimin's energy is infectious. He used to be there even ahead of us. So that's the kind of energy that RevSportz brings to the table. So yes, Vinod, if you see something missed out, you will know that there is a real reason why somebody couldn't get there. But the focus is on multi-sport, on national and grassroots as well, and obviously on international sport, which will get you recall. There is a summit in Telangana. There is a summit in Telangana called Telangana Rising. Gopi called me yesterday saying they want to meet us and discuss whether we can contribute to their sport. His partner Prasad is doing it. So multiple different things, whether it is state governments doing local sport, we helped Bihar and that government during that hockey story as well. So Baton Cup, you can be, you know, you will be delighted that again, a 126th edition of the Baton Cup, there was no sponsorship. RevSportz was there to back it up. I hosted events pro bono. We gave them maximum coverage in the newly laid hockey turf. The Jai Balaji Group Marathon in Calcutta, day before yesterday, again, RevSportz was a sponsor. Here, how we do it is we don't pay them money. I sort of lend my intellectual expertise to them pro bono. In return, I get RevSportz branding, and we make a difference to them by coverage. Trisha was with me at 4 a.m. Umakanto was with me at 4 a.m. Mohor and Rahul joined us, and we were partners of the Jai Balaji Group. We've also done a book for them. We've done a book for them where Rohan, Trisha, Gargi, Umakanto worked with me on the book. It was curated by them, advised by me, and that was an intellectual project as part of the marathon. So the
a couple
answer
of more
to your
questions,
question,
just to
yeah.
So since we now have, so how are we impacting sports policy and dialogues with federations government? Because that is one area that, you know, is spread under the carpet. Nobody wants to talk. No one wants to highlight what we can be doing, you know, impacting, and that creates, you know, the far-reaching impact on how sport is played, how sport is looked at. But the government, you know, it's like the intellectual piece where you impact with your conversations and policy writing.
See, one is very simple, Vinod. There will be a white paper produced out of the conclave, which we will hand over to the government. The second is we are in continuous touch with either Kunal, who's the joint secretary, or Vinil, who is the joint secretary, and Hari Ranjan Rao, who I will again meet, or the minister in Mansukh Mandavia. We are good friends at one level. At another level, we are there to hold up the critical mirror, because that is the critical, constructively critical intellectual voice that RevSportz happens to be. Himanshu has already sent me a message in personal, opening up doors in the education domain. See, this is why this meeting is important. He said to me, I will send it to my PhD alma mater, ISB in Hyderabad, and some contacts in IMK and IMB. Exactly. I mean, we did a conference at IIM Indore. We did a conference at IIM Indore, which again RevSportz was partner. Gargi presented a paper. Rohan was there, sorry, he didn't present. Gargi presented a paper and was awarded second best student paper or developmental paper there. I was convening the conference as part of my academic focus. So RevSportz is now part of the IIM bouquet. Himanshu Rai will be part of the Kolkata Trailblazers Conclave. So government and policy, here we are continuously in touch with the principal secretary and the state, Rajesh Pandey. In the central level, we are continuously in touch with the people who matter. They know we have a voice. They know that every major announcement, be it CWG or whatever, they piggyback on us because they know that these guys know the real story. For example, the Commonwealth Games. There is a lot of talk saying, "Arey, bekar hai, faltu ka paisa kharch hoga, etc." Kyun kar raha hai? So they want us to kind of give people the understanding that isliye kar raha hai. So we have become a kind of torchbearer and beacon of hope for Indian sport, an aspirational story of sorts, and we will continue doing that.
One more piece, last piece. Fan experiences for people who go and watch sport on the ground. We continue to be as bad as it can get. Improvements have happened. Will we hold people accountable? Will we raise the voice as a platform? Logical voices.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Because the fan, we keep saying the fan is at the center of everything, but the fan is kicked around. We try and get the fan as much a voice in our coverage. And that's what the quest will be. Our Hindi people, especially Rohit and Shubhan, are masters of that. They continuously fan engage, at times rile them up and become provocative also. Both of us know that, we've tried to, but Shubhan and Rohit are brilliant in that fan engagement. I thought the England team, whether it is Devashish, Trisha and Rohan for Bangla, Gargi and I for English, we were trying to engage as much with fans. When we are on tour, Shormishta, for example, did some Paris diaries, which stood out for me in terms of the culture and the fan engagement and stuff like that. Ultimately, each one of us, I want to do more fan stuff because that's why we survive. The viewer is at the core of it all. People here are also asking us to do more other cricket series, West Indies, New Zealand. Our team will launch a football show with EPL and La Liga and other leagues. Now, these are things we need to do. And he's right. Whoever freaking awesome is a regular viewer of ours. Other sports, there is so much that one can possibly do. And we've grown from a team of 5 to 50. But the fan remains at the center of it all. The fan remains at the center of it all. And please understand, at this point in time, existing coverage is centered around the stadium. The fan in you or the fan in Himanshu or in Manish or in Jaimin sitting in different parts of the world are not even relevant to them. Our job is to make every sofa set a stadium, give people a voice, and that's how disrupt the existing ecosystem and open new doors. That is why this show banters. When you said fan, why are we doing this show for Z? What is it called? It's called Banters. Who are part of it? 4 different fans from 4 different African countries. There will be fan takes from England. It is a whole show with the fan, by the fan, for the fan. Just like this platform is by journalists, for journalists, and would be for journalists. So that's where it is, Vinod. If there are no further questions, I will ask Shormishta to come in and do the closing comments, because again, I have to put this on record. And one thing that I don't really have is administrative skills. I have great ability in breaking stories or creating a narrative and setting stories up and even bringing money and convincing people. And I can say that our investors or our sponsors, they know that if we are saying something, we will do that and keep our promise. But administration, structure, professionalism within the organization is not my forte. It is hers. And I owe this to her, that since taking over, there has been a lot of structure and professional protocols that have been instituted. No company can grow without professionalism. So I'll leave it to you to conclude.
First of all, I'd like to thank each person who has joined us here, our investors, team, and also our corporate supporters. Jemin, Himanshu, Vinod, you've been, attending the session right from the time we started. Thank you for being there with us. Boria just mentioned structure. Yes, that's something we have been working towards. We all know RevSportz started as one person's dream. That was even before I kind of entered. Boria and Vinod, they were talking about this dream company, but it started like that. It's a typical Indian dream, and it started like that, things getting cobbled together. When I came in, we were working as individuals, and my job was to put together a structure in place, which I have endeavored my best to do. There still needs a lot to be done, but I think we can congratulate ourselves on the fact that we now have, departments. We have heads of different departments, so that we are increasingly decentralizing, where Boria or myself, we can concentrate on proliferating the company, on raising money, things like that, whereas the departments are working very well under the department heads, whether it's writing, it's video editing, or it's publishing, things like that. And the other thing is that for the first year or year and a half, we were working as individuals, and everyone was trying to do a little bit of something, more so because we were a small team. Now we're a much bigger team, and also people have found their mojo. So Rahul, who started as a publishing hand, he's now our top football reporter. Gargi has found her mojo. Rohan has found his. Trisha, of course, or Shubhayo nor Rohit, they were already fairly, they had some experience. But over these last 2 years or so, people have, found what they do best, and we have found what people do best, so we are pushing them more in that direction. Boria talked about the education vertical. We know now which among the team members is best geared to lead that, and we are putting them there, so everyone is finding what they do best. And when I end, I'd like to mention a few people who don't like to speak out before others. They like to stay behind and do all the work. First person I have to mention is Umakanto Lududa, to everyone. He's like, he guards by day, he guards by night. He doesn't go home for days. His home is in Kolkata, not anywhere else. But he holds fort when Boria and I are traveling. So we couldn't do without him. If there was one person I had to hold on to till the end, it would be Umakantoda. And so I think we all I think I can hear people clapping for him in the next room, and he deserves every single bit of that clap. So another person again who does all the work in the background and who doesn't at all like to appear is Debojyoti again. Debojyoti has been working with us on the website, and I would like to say this again, stories and stories, but the website was the previous website, which we just migrated from. It was, I think, constructed in a matter of 5 days. Yes, it was constructed in a matter of like 5 days. Because the previous website, there were some issues with the people who developed it, and they just let us down. And Debojyoti, we knew Debojyoti from before, and we brought him in, and he said, yes, sir, we will do it. And he did it, and he has been with us. He has developed our Android app. He's now working on our iOS app. He's very soft spoken, but where work is concerned, he's the best. So I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate and thank Debojyoti for his hard work. Another person again who you hardly ever see up front is Mayurji. Mayurji, as we always joke, is the most important person in the company because he pays the salaries, our finance head. And again, Mayurji, a big clap for him, because he chases, he does the most difficult thing. He chases the money, all payments. Mayurji, paisa kab aa raha hai? Mayurji is chasing the money. So again, thank you to all these people, and I would like to thank each and every person who, Moldikadi, who serves the tea for us, everyone, who does the small things. I would take this chance to, thank all of them. And, because they are here is because, they are here. So, we are able to, just function from day to day. They make our lives comfortable. Thank you. I think if nobody has any comments, we can end this session now.
Thank you, Shomista, for holding the tough job of managing everything behind the screens. It is never easy. Nobody, Jamin smiling. Jamin knows what I'm talking about. The bad man's job. Some people will like it. Some people will not like order and structure to a particular event. But without that, the show doesn't go on. So I think thank you for all that.
Thank you, everyone. And again, there's one thing I'd like to say, that we did not have all team members speak because, we just, we wanted a representation out of every domain, like, for, cricket, Hindi, football, or, at senior or middle or younger people. But for those who haven't spoken and, who kind of work at publishing or in the back end, we have our video editors here. Neil is here. Obhinobo is here. Anushka is here. We have Divya, who is so disciplined. We have Shorjani, who has just joined. If I have missed mention, we have Shomnath, who is our football reporter. If I have missed mentioning anybody, it's totally unintentional. Everybody makes us, and everybody is a core part of the team. Thank you. Bharat Ramraj, Bharat again, if all of you read his articles, he's got quite a reputation on Twitter. So again, if I have missed mentioning anybody, that's totally unintentional. Boria,
No, Bharat, everybody reads Bharat, for sure.
And on a lighter note, Shomik Chakraborty was supposed to be part. Shomik Chakraborty was supposed to be part of the session. Each one of you have seen the cult video of Sarvanash. Shomik missed a press conference in Dubai, and he went and said on the live show that Sarvanash ho gaya, mujhe suicide karna padega. And I got trolled for 7 days. So today Shomik is in Raipur covering a press conference. I said, bhai, Foundation Day mein Sarvanash mat karo. You go and do your press conference. We will handle this without you. If you've not seen the video, we will send it to you individually. You cannot stop laughing for 30 minutes. So we'll send that to you. But to Pompa, to Divya, to all of our colleagues who kind of do the back end, to Amreen, to Rajoshi who are interning with us, to everyone, to all sponsors, to each one of you, a sincere thank you, because frankly, when Vinod and I sort of first met, Vinod actually wrote to me saying dreams do come true, and Sachin always used to say this, that dreams do come true. Anyone who throws stones at us, we will convert the stones into milestones. On that note, Jaimin, Himanshu, Vinod, to everybody here, everybody at the back end, somebody has asked, अरे YouTube भी तो करते हो तो इतना क्यों बोल रहे हो, etc etc. भाई अगर तुम्हें पता होता क्यों बोल रहे हैं तो तुम अपना टाइम यहाँ पे वेस्ट नहीं करते हम लोगों का. So प्रॉब्लम यही है कि आप लोग ट्रोल जब करना चाहते हो तो कुछ भी बोल देते हो. But even trolls are a part of our story, and love them for what they say. On that note, Jaimin, Himanshu, Vinod, everybody who's watching, thank you very much. It's been a fantastic 3 hours. And it's time for lunch. You guys should have lunch and send the bill to us. So that's what it is. Thank you very much. Thank you.